Absolutely fine, XP. Like I'm super excited looking at the way day one unfolded. Guess day two is gonna be an even crazier one because we have 16 new teams coming in today, and I think we am like super excited to see them. I think today there are a couple of teams that are playing on, so I think we can look at maybe Insane or maybe Ellis. There are a lot of big names that I see today that are not entirely new to the teams that have recently played. However, let's have a look at the prize pool for the PMCO. We have first place $2,600, 600 for the second place, and then we have third to fifth at $1,100. But what matters is that top five qualify for the PMPL season 2. So yes, a lot of money on the cards, but then obviously what matters right now is the slot that takes you to further glory. Definitely. I still believe that making the game more aggressive gives adds much more spice and fun element to the game. It makes a good viewing experience, and eventually our job is to make the experience even better. The players need to do their job. The rules are set, but let's see. I think it actually becomes. I would agree that it becomes difficult for the players, but then they need to start adapting to a more aggressive gameplay. Yeah, definitely. MCOPS was the team that I, actually picked out of the, it was the first name which came to my mind yesterday when you asked me to pick up a team. But yes, there was NINJAX as well, the XYZT and Java, the five players whom we were talking about yesterday. And apart from that, we have a lot of teams coming in today. We have Reckoning coming in today. We have BlitzkriegXP coming in today. That includes Sakriya, Mad Dog, Vault. These are the same guys from the team Terrifying Nightmares, the team that went ahead and won its campus championship in 2018 and also were the finalists for PMSC Global. So, I think a pretty stacked lineup, a pretty stacked deck that we have. And, I guess we are looking towards an exciting day. Yeah, definitely. Because I feel it's gonna be more competitive than it was yesterday. Last night, I felt that things were skewed towards a couple of teams, but today I think it's gonna be entirely different because I see a lot of talented teams, a pretty stacked team lineup that's gonna play today. Okay, XP. I think we'll take a quick short break and be right back before the game starts. Okay, guys, so I think we are back, and there was a small technical fault which happens, because we are working via remote production. I think XP, now you're back, and I think it should be fine.
Hello! Am I audible now? Can you guys hear me? I'm sorry for that. A little bit of a technical glitch over here. But yes, we were talking about, how we're going to start off in Erangel. It's going to be in chill game. And I think, Thug, we might just about be getting ready. And, oh,
Yep, let's
I
quickly hop
am
into the game. I
excited.
think it's time that we drop into the game directly. It's gonna be Erangel, game number 1 for day 2 PMCO PUBG Mobile Club Open Fall Split India region. And over to you, XP.
Alrighty, the plane is flying from pretty much the west to the east. We are going to be going over Georgia Ball right through Yasnaya at the end. Rozok is going to be right in the middle. And of course, a few of these teams, we have an idea where they're going to drop, right? But I'm excited to see what the meta is going to be right now, where the players are going to go. And again, I'm just I just had a look at www dot. I love that name. www.viju op Shaila Prince and Ninja. That is an interesting name.
Yeah, definitely. I believe that I'm super excited to see these teams played out today because we have Team Optimum as well. So do we have Stalwart, and so we have Reckless, where we have Matt, Snaipu, and a couple of other guys playing in, and then we have Hex as well. I also see that we have a hot drop coming towards Pochinki that might spice up things.
That is definitely going to be spicing up things, but let's see where the zone goes. Oh my goodness. Erangel once again trying to be like Vikendi. We have a little bit of the southeastern zone over here. A lot of it is in the water. And what's this? Dark God. He has a weapon out. Ninja gets a shot already. And looks like LegStump is going to lose a man quickly. Joker WSS has gone down. That is going to be a big blow to the all-star team.
Yes, and I see NY dominated Dark God Mafia and Ninja. Interesting team name. And they have gone for a split drop. It's a 2-2 split drop. Got an early kill. We have a first blood coming in. And Pochinki, we have ESN versus VRI. So two teams taking a drop. One team going for the reservation area. Two teams going for the triangles and the six-pack. Even I see ESN Zoe going towards the squad. We do have a little bit of shutter here from our feed. But looking at the zone, it's shifted towards Milta, XP Milta, looking like the center point. So www, the website, team website, would be pretty much happy about it.
You almost just gave me a heart attack right now because I'm glad you said that we had a little bit of a stutter because I just had a mic glitch and now I thought, oh my goodness, here goes my internet. But everything is fine. And yes, sir, we have a lot of action in store for you. Look at the fact that Reckless are taking it, they're playing it a little safe. They are way to the northwest in Zarki, which I guess is a good move right now, but they have the longest distance to travel. And Thug, would you have a look at Sosnovka military base? It is deserted.
Yeah, I mean, like none of the teams decided to move to the southern island. That's interesting because generally, southern island offers a lot of loot. If you're talking about loot, if you're talking about vehicles, and if there's one team actually taking the entire military base, you get enough loot to last the remaining part of the game. But interestingly, most of the teams trying to opt for the northern island. I believe that makes sense given the fact that there is like, I believe the entire PMPL that I casted, I saw one out of all the Erangel games that had a zone favoring the military guys. So I definitely believe that teams need to start figuring out if they actually need to give that much of importance to the southern zone.
Well, the zone is going to move out in about another 45 seconds, so we'll see how they start rotating in. But on your screens right now, we have Team 5 that is Reckoning now. Reckoning, well, they are going to be reckoning a lot tonight, and let's see what they are going to bring to the table. We of course have Exotic Taz, Zero, and Clowny. Now, they are in Yasnaya, and by the look of things, look at the way they're all spread out. They have control over the entire city, which is unprecedented because usually you see at least a couple of teams dropping around the same place. And on our screens right now, right after them, it's Revenge Corvus. And I see your name up there, Animesh.
Yeah, I saw a guy RCX.
Is that
Yes,
you?
it's not me. It's not me. I'm not using my device right now. At the same time, we have Sahil, Animesh, Aniket, and Tusher. Okay, we have a little bit of tech problem, but that's fine. Technology first. And we have Sakriya, Naughty Boy, Mad Dog, and Volt, veterans of the gaming scene. I think for the PUBG Mobile scene, they have been into the scene since the very beginning. The boys are back again, trying to make a mark. Let's see how it goes for them. Meanwhile, these boys, I think they've gone for a Lipovka drop, and they would need to go for the center. Pretty much inside the zone, I don't think you should have too much of problems. Meanwhile, talking about Team Nox, with Clay God, Mayhem, Jaxos, and Octopus, who are trying to rotate. However, they are pretty close to Team 19. They need to be careful. They might get to see, but then we're having a lot of shutter here. Sparky, I think. But yes, the game looks smooth as of now.
I think you're still reliving your PMPL days. I thought I heard a name, but yes, there are a couple of starters again. Technology is, we get some technical issues now and then, but it's all right. We are going to power through. They have to be careful, Nox official, because they've got Team ESN on one side, and if I had a look earlier, Team Insane wasn't far behind, so they are going to rotate into the zone. They are pretty much in the center already, so I guess what they're doing right now is just trying to get that best compound, that suits their game style. Meanwhile, in Pochinki, we have VR1 Esports, and they have the city to themselves. I mean, this is, hot drops like this, usually you see it contested right from the beginning, but I'm sure we'll see a lot of teams enter once the zone forces them to move in closer to one another, and I love that name on our screens right now, DTHesports.
But I think
Tag, I have a question for you.
let's just quickly sort out the tech issue. Meanwhile, we take on the screen, and I'm gonna quickly try to reset the feed on my end. Anyways, I think it was a good game. It's a good game that's going on, and I believe that we still have a great game to go on to. Let's hope.
I want to ask you a question. Kya Mungambo khush hoga? If you catch my drift.
Yeah, I think I'm not really sure about that, because things do look a little bit upside down right now, but then I think it's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be too much of a problem. So guys, this kind of technical issues happen when we're into remote production. We're trying our best to sort it out, and I think we are back. Let's quickly hop into the game action right away.
I was just about to get out my ball. I thought we'll juggle a little bit. I thought we'll entertain the crowd, but nah, it's all right. They don't want to watch us. They want to watch the action in PUBG Mobile. And over here, Bope Dope. Now, I'm sure you all know this name. Futurestation is another team that is comprised of all-stars. You have Somraj, Bope Dope, and wait a second. Let me just make sure I get the names right. Pukar and Winterstorm. Oh, this is going to be interesting to see what these boys are going to be bringing to the table, because I like the fact that there's no action yet. We only saw a little clash earlier on, but while rotating, we haven't really had any shots being fired, and I want to see some drive-bys. I want to see some vehicular manslaughter, and it looks like I might get my wish, because LegStump are right in Nalayak's... Wait a second, is Ninja actually going to go for a kill, or is he going to stop? I thought he was going to stop. He's going to make sure he's relaying all that information to his team, but I think we might just see some action very soon.
Yes, and right now we have 63 players, 16 teams, and of the apart from our early game casualty, we haven't seen much action as of now. Most of our teams are going for the rotation. Interesting facts about the game that we did not see anyone going to the southern island, and majority of the teams decided to resort to the northern part, and then eastern part. I saw a lot of teams towards the eastern hemisphere of the map. I think that would have favored, the zone would have favored a lot of teams that actually took a drop over there. We did see last time that WWW was at the center, and right now I see at least 9 to 10 teams. I don't know, I just see Insane coming out on top, but then I see at least 7-8 teams beneath them.
I'm just going to subtract the 4 teams that I see outside. So basically, we've got 12 teams in a cluster over here. And, well, we are going to see a lot of gunfire over here, as Nalayak seems like they are going to be taking on the opposition in the form of Team ESN. Can they support that attack? Donald goes and he gets that first knock. Inferno has gone down. They are going to retaliate a bit. They lost another member. Zoe has gone down as well. The push is going to be coming in. And it looks like it might be problematic for Team ESN. But let's have a look. Not anything can happen. But wait a second. Bhishma for the win is going to come in and finish that kill. Now that is going to be a little detrimental. ESN does retaliate. He gets 1 knock. He finishes him as well. He gets a 2nd knock. Oh my goodness. Nalayak are in trouble.
And I think, ESN has a good chance here to take 4 kills. They already lost Furno, but then they have Zoe down as well. Wang OP needs to try and spot stiff out for its team, but right now looks like Ninja and Pirate JK might just pull off a comeback, but no, Pirate JK goes down. Wang OP might as well decide to back off, and yes, Wang is backing off right now. He knows that it's a GG's for them, and Nalak is going to be the team that comes out with 3 kills, but yes, at the loss of 2 men. So I think at the loss of 1 guy, because 2 were knocked. The last guy, I think, actually got revived. So I still believe that Nalak, yes, they are 3 men strong right now, and Zoe is outside their house.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I think they need to secure this kill. Like, he might get third party and they might lose a kill.
Did you notice one thing? They actually could lose a kill because although Nalayak were the ones that got the knocks on Team ESN, somebody else came in and stole a kill, and that was, of course, Bhishma for the win, who comes in from the distance with his Mini 14 and gets that kill. Meanwhile, Reckless Aditya has knocked himself out with his vehicle. We are seeing this way too much. I think we need some driving lessons for all the PUBG Mobile players.
Right, and you looking at Team VR1, a new team altogether, Deuce, Rage, Skeleton, and Punk. They are using a three-seated vehicle. I'm not really sure. Like, I'm not a fan of this vehicle. I believe that it's really risky to make a rotation on this because, you know, the balance of the vehicle is pretty bad. Meanwhile, looking at RG Tez, I think we are talking about VR1 and they just got spotted and one of their players went down. Right now, Ellis talking about the big names. We have Bhishma, we have Artemis, we have Joker, and we have Syringe, who previously played for, I think, LegStump and the PMIs.
Oh, Sniper with some shots. I think they did connect. And you know one interesting thing over here? The way Aditya knocked himself out of a vehicle and he still has smoke cover is, you know, oh, wait a second. I just took his name and he just got knocked out. So he did have cover. His teammates, you know, they acted quickly, but it is going to be a little bit too late. They should have probably come in quicker. He did get spotted out and down he goes. Artemis is making sure he keeps the right flank from his team's point of view. Matt over here is in a good position as well, but they have lost a member. It is going to be problematic for them, but they are in control of this compound and the enemy is pretty far off. It shouldn't be an immediate threat. Meanwhile, Sarang is picking up a fight as he gets a knock on the enemy.
Yes, and right now, Reckless, a pretty semi-pro team, you can call them, because they have Matt and Snipe, who met a previously 8-bit player, and then Snipe, a girl gamer who has been doing excellently well in the competitive circuit. And finally, we have, I think she's the only girl representation from all the teams that are participating in PMC, and this is not a first representation. Talking about Sniper, I believe the way she has developed her skill set, she is ready to fight it out, and I'm definitely rooting for Reckless today. I actually want this team to go ahead and get those kills, get that top 5 spot, and make it into the top 5 PML, because these guys have been playing together since a very long time. The synergy they share is excellent. I just want to see them bank on that synergy and try to make their way into the top 5.
You know, you just mentioned Snipe, who, of course, girls are taking over esports and they are doing it brilliantly. But I do believe we have another girl who is playing, and she is a part of AZTECS ESP, if I'm not wrong. Rebel just joined them recently, so it's a good thing. It's a good representation, and you know, it's a good thing to let the kids know that hey, if you play good, if you have a dream, you can go for it. It does not matter. But the zone has shrunk in on itself, and Thug, once again we see a concentric circle, and pretty much fair for everyone. But it is going to be forming around the mansion, and we still have the prison in contention. So LegStump and Reckless are still going to be engaged in that little bit of a stalemate. Meanwhile, have a look at Optimum Esports. The way they're rotating from the northwest, I think they're going to go all the way towards Lipovka. That is what it looks like. But it looks like they are heading in STALWART's direction, and we might just see some action. I did see a gunshot somewhere on the map, but where do you think it's going to happen first? Is it going to be the north or the south? Because it can go either way right now.
I think it might just we might get to see the circle shift towards Lipovka or maybe south. I don't think this circle is shifting towards the north, but then yes, that's all prediction, because we can't, because it's been such a concentric shift, it's been such a equal shift, you know, a uniform shift of the circle, that it's pretty much difficult to guess. But right now I see Blaze OP coming up with some TMR shots. He did connect some, but the player did not go down. Rather, Optimum G Bash came up with a spray, I guess, to take off ST Sarang. Now it's up to Damon to do some cover fire, because to provide some cover fire, because we might see ST coming in with the push. Optimum come up with a push on STE.
Well, Stalwart Esports, they are a man down right now. Ooh, they are coming in for the kill, and Damon gets some shots off. Is he going to connect? He does connect a couple, but he just zigzags his car out of harm's way, and Bash and the boys are now at their gates. This is going to be a bit problematic for them, because they don't have a disadvantage. They have picked up their last member, so it is going to be a 4v4 fight. That Molotov making sure that Damon has to move from his position. You know, it's a good thing that those windows aren't covered and they can actually kind of move around. But have a look at the way they are spread out. Critic 07 is going to be holding on to the left flank. Razor overhead destroys his vehicle just in case, you know, an enemy grenade comes and spells trouble. Grenades going off. Meanwhile, we have a team elimination. Team ESM are going to bow out in the 16th position with 1 kill.
It's crazy to see how ST did not thinking how to go behind the garage and then take a shot through the wall. It's amazing how Optimum easily, you know, they made it look so easy. They surrounded ST on all sides. Now the entire ST team who was holding this compound is concentrated to a particular red building. And you know, I'm still shocked how ST allowed Optimum to come in close to that red building. Right now it looks like Optimum does have an upper hand in the fight. If we see a lot of utilities being used, but no, I was wrong. Bash goes down. Razor is at 20 HP. Some amazing cover fire coming on from Critic to take down Sarang. And meanwhile, in the feed, we see that Reckless Mac takes down WWW It all comes down to Critic, who needs to help with some cover fire because the trades happen, but both the teams are now back again to the 4-man squad.
We have a couple of fights breaking out over here. Of course, Critic over here trying to get those shots on Sarang, who has been picked up. We did see him get knocked out earlier. Meanwhile, Reckless Esports are bringing down the World Wide Web. Please don't do that. We will not be able to cast otherwise, but this action is getting intense over here. Raisin is going to go down as well. Meanwhile, Zero gets a knock on MCYS OP. That is going to be a bit problematic. He almost got a shot and he just let him go. I thought he had the enemy in his crosshair. That is going to be a devastating blow for this team over here, losing a couple of members. But Robin and Damon have their work cut out. They are going to go in for the revives. But we know one good grenade can be devastating, but it looks like Critic 07 realizes that, you know what, I'm going to have to run away to live to fight another day. And he's backed out. That was a reckless push by them.
Yeah, definitely. That was a reckless push by them. But talking about Team Reckless, Matt and Sniper, the two surviving guys. And Matt took off one. And I think, you know, Sniper coming up with the push. He needs to step out. And there it is. They take out WWW. But yes, we are still alive. That's not an issue. Website gets eliminated. And Reckless coming up with the 4 kills. However, they are down to 2 men. The zone made a shift. Pure, like entirely contradictory to what I had predicted. It's a westward shift, and
it's the opposite direction.
Yeah, it's actually completely opposite to what I had predicted. But yes, that's the reason I'm at the casting deck, not at the playing field. And I see a lot of teams still surviving. 14 teams, 42 players, 42 players, an average of 3 players per team. Insane. Talking about this team: IT Prince, Shockwave, Rana, Deep, and Puali. Talking about IT Prince, one of the most veteran players among this lot. He has played the PMCO finals. He has represented PMCO India in the PMCO prelims region for the global finals. So he has done a lot of stuff. A very experienced deck. But talking about LS, they are not less either. But Bhishma and Syringe, they look like they are struggling because Artemis went down and Joker got wiped out.
Well, I was just going to say that Team Insane, they look like they haven't got a kill yet. They haven't really picked a fight yet. But I like the fact that they're split into trying to cover as much ground as they can. But Syringe has them in their crosshair and he rattled a few shots, but none of them connected because his team is under fire. Artemis and Joker. Joker, of course, we lost early on. Artemis just went down. Syringe and Bhishma are going to be surrounded by the enemy anytime soon. They've got to be careful. They do have a good position, but they got to be careful because Snipu and Matt are creeping in from behind and they can be devastating at that distance. I do see their buggy next to that little shack, so if they have long range weapons they can do some damage. But Team Insane, now they are in the zone, they are spread out, but not a lot of cover. As have a look at who's coming in. DTHesports comes in, but one of them falls out and gets knocked out. That is going to be devastating, and that kill has gone. I do believe Team Insane capitalized on that. Sam is the last member remaining from DTH.
Yes, if I look at the position that Team Insane holds as of now, they might be able to get in a couple of kills, even more, I guess. But LS looks like in a lot of trouble. They have Syringe and Bhishma surviving. Artemis, their front end assaulter, alongside Syringe is down. So I guess LS needs to play it safe. They need to keep it low, or else they have a probability that they might get eliminated at the 12th spot or the 11th spot. Right now, Insane might want to go for the rotation because the zone is, like, I guess 100 meters away from them, and we have only 30 seconds because before the 5th zone starts kicking in. And we know that once the 5th blue circle kicks in, and if you're caught, you get a lot of zone damage. Right now we have Insane trying to push in, but Bhishma gets the first knock, takes down Shockwave. It's all up to Ghana, even ITPs, and also they're getting third party by Team RC. And Nimesh, come on, I mean, like, you can do it, bro.
That was a shockwave inside. And wait a second, Ranadeep is going to go down as well. Bhishma on 1 HP, unleashing that inner warrior, getting 2 crucial knocks. And of course, that third party helping them as well. Insane. Maybe they could have taken that rotation, but I think what they wanted was they want to get that confidence built up. They wanted to push in on LegStump and get those kills. And Insane Puvali is going to go down courtesy of Sakria. This is going to be devastating. Prince is alive. Shockwave, I do believe he is going to bleed out. I think the revive is going to be important. Ooh, Prince delivers, knocking out Bhishma. And with that, team LegStump out in the 12th position. 3 kills to their names. Now, this is where the revives are going to come in, but they've got to act quick because the zone is moving in. So I wonder what decision he's going to make over here. Revive or just run?
I think he won't be able to pull off a revive because looking at the zone, yes, it's already here. He needs to move in fact, he needs to survive this. The zone is pretty close and they are like at a 50-50 meter odd distance. Right now, we have 11 teams, 32 players. Interesting PMCO because from all I see, a lot of teams are chasing the zone. The priority right now for every team is to ensure that they're inside the zone, and that's the reason we are getting to see such a clogged, such a clustered end circle right now. RC and Niket coming up with a nade on, I think there was team NY, but I'm not really sure. Meanwhile, BXP Sakriya taking on NY Ninja, and the entire Insane team looks like they're gonna get wiped out because of the zone. And yes, Insane does get eliminated at the 11th spot. All the big names going down: Optimum, Futurestation, LegStump, Insane. 4 teams are out already. We are out to the top 10, and we have 28 teams, 28 players still alive.
Now, Stalwart over here, they do have this shack in control. They have vehicles for cover, but well, actually have a couple of vehicles. They are in a good spot. The zone is still in their favor. I like the fact they have 4 vehicles. Hex Reaper X, I like that name. They are going to get knocked out in the 9th position. DTH Mogambo, I see him with low HP in that smoke screen. I wonder what his plan of action is. Meanwhile, we have 8 teams remaining as the 6th circle is about to show itself. Make that 7 teams because Revenge CORVUS just went out in 8th position with 3 kills. Reckless Sniper recklessly laying down some lead in that smoke, hoping against all odds that one going to connect to get those hit markers and she might actually capitalize on them. But BXP, naughty boy, has been naughty as he goes down. He is punished for being out in the open. This is what I was talking about. Now, Team 8, of course, knocks officials. They have a good spot, but look at the way Reckless is just obliterating them.
Right, and right now they're down 7 teams: Reckless, Matt, and Sniper. They have done a fantastic job for their team. Looking at the fact that 2 of them were alive only when they had 2 kills, and right now they're looking at 8 kills. The way they have played, amazing. But right now, Stalwart Esports, the guys who pushed towards Optimum, I think both the wiped out Optimum, they came back. In fact, Optimum pushed at Stalwart, and Stalwart actually survived the scare. And right now, Stalwart is not inside the zone, but then looking at the distance, it looks like they have enough vehicles to make it inside the zone. You just need to be careful right now because, you know, there are still 7 teams inside the circle. And DTH Mogambo did a great job in trying to inflict some damage. Picked off 1 and might as well pick off 2.
Somebody stop this guy because he just got 2 knocks over here right now. And I think the last one has been spotted. He gets a squad wipe as he goes into the zone. Stalwart Esports, the team that were 4 men alive with one of the best positions, are now out of this game. And I think Mogambo, definitely Kushua, he gets those kills. But Reckless, they're moving into the zone as well. And the zone right now is firmly in control of Reckoning. I think it's time for Reckoning right now. Let's see what these boys are going to bring to the table. Mogambo is still not done. He takes another member out with him. DTH Esports are finally out, but I think they definitely did a good job. In 5th position, Blitzkrieg is going to go out with 4 kills. Reckless Sniper finally getting knocked out, and her teammate Matt is well, I don't think this is going to be a revive over here. He might go for a little bit of a heal off. 2 first aids left, Thug. What do you think his plan of action should be?
I think that's the best he could have done because he is 100 meters away from the zone. There's no way he will be able to make it inside the zone. But if Nox gets wiped out, that heal battle is on point. He just took his team from the 4th spot to the 3rd spot and, you know, got his team 2 extra points. And looking at the number of people alive, I don't think he could have done anything better. Right now, we are down to a 4v3v1 situation. Obviously, Matt is going to get wiped out. But it all comes down to Reckoning versus VR1. Which team do you think XP here has got a better chance? Because both of them are towards the edge of the circle. Both of them have the circle on them right now. But which team do you think got this?
Well, the fact that Reckoning have 1 man down, Clowny, of course, was lost early on, and they have a 4-man squad. But the fact that they have good cover, it all depends on the zone. Look, both teams are in the zone, but I do believe one of them is going to be forced out. I'm just looking at the mini-map right now. Which way is it going to go? Because that is going to be... Okay, maybe I started that a bit too soon. Let me start again.
Actually start. Okay, so that was like a
Alright, there we
crash.
go.
Yeah, but the center, the circle once again.
This is perfect.
Yeah, this is perfect. I think it's so concentric. Like once again, like Erangel gods are being so favorable. They're showing mercy towards the team that is fighting it out. Right now, VR1 has a good chance because they have a one-man advantage, and also they're looking pretty strong. 12 kills, Rage, Fuse, Skeleton, and Punk. These guys are doing a great job.
Also, if you have a look at the zone right now, you know, they have that little bit of a ridge. No, not just a ridge. It's a little bit of a mound over here, and they can actually, you know, spot the enemy coming in because this is third person, and, you know, you can see a little bit different. So that might be something they're going to use to their advantage. But Reckoning, they are deploying those smokes, and, well, you know, if I was in that game, I'm probably going to shoot a couple of random shots into the smoke to see what happens. But I like the way Taz is trying to slake his way towards the left. They are going to try and, you know, get an idea of who the enemy are, because I think Deuce has been spotted. He does get spotted. Shots being fired. Deuce goes down via Taz, and the second man goes down as well. We are 1 or 2 members down. Now, this is when Reckoning need to do something about it, but they do have this little dip. Have a look at where we are on his position. Oh my goodness! That grenade shook me, and with that, Taz is going to be bowing out from this game.
I think Taz did a great job right there, taking those sprays with that M416 and a red dot took off 2, came up with a nade, but this nade is pretty close to Taz, and if Taz is already at 60 HP, and yes, you just take him down, but there comes the cover fire from Zero. Zero might go down, and I think that chicken dinner went into the hands of VR1. RG did try to do a great job, a really good job done by Taz. Fought it until the very end, but eventually it was VR1 XP who went ahead and took the chicken dinner.
It all came down to a 1v1 situation, and wow, 12 kills on one end. And I do believe if my maths is right, they should get 11 kills if I'm not wrong. But that was a good start to day 2. Erangel was a bloodbath, and the fact that the zone kind of forced all the teams close to each other pretty much from the second circle on, we saw crazy amounts of action. And well, to the victor goes the spoils, and VR1 Esports have won the first game of the day.
Yeah, great job by them. I think VR1 did a fantastic job, especially, you know, they were at they did have an advantage over RG, but then still, I believe that RG Taz changed the games, but while they were pushing, I felt that they were out in the open, too much open for the opponent team to be able to spot them out easily, and that's when they went down. Let's quickly move on to the MVP of the game, and that's none other than VR1 X Punk.
Well, Punk, who could you dare call me Punk?
Okay, so we have Punk with 8 kills and 834 damage, and then we have a survival time of 24.46. This is covered of 6.33, and I think great job. XP, I lost you. And I think the teams did a great job. Meanwhile, I think we lost XP. So yes, so guys, we lost XP for some time, and so I'm gonna be taking over for now. But then I believe that what a great game overall by the team. And let's quickly hop into the top 5 players for this game, where we have I guess VR1 X Punk, Reckless Matt in the second spot with 6 kills, 886 damage. We have Exotic with 5 kills and 584 damage, and then we have Deuce with 766 damage, and Mogambo with the 567 damage. A lot of kills coming in from VR1 Deuce. And if we talk about the way VR1 and both VR1 and Reckless played, I believe Reckless Matt did a great job for his team. He took his team from, I think they were at the verge of elimination when we were at the 10th spot. They went ahead and took them off until the very, I guess, the third spot. So great stuff by the duo Matt and Sniper. Overall, a great game of Erangel, but I
believe you might have had a little bit of a connection issue over here.
Standings. Then we have VR1 Esports, Reckoning, Reckless, Blitzkrieg at 11 points. Overall, VR1 did dominate the entire show. with 15 kills, and I think we have XP back, and we might just.
That was a massive, massive kill. Of course, a little bit of a technical issue over here. I don't know what went wrong, to be honest with you. I just lost everything. But VR1 Esports, 15 kills, 35 points. In fact, yesterday we saw a 41-point game in the first game. I mean, these guys are coming out swinging, and at the bottom half, now Layak. Well, I mean, I don't want to say this, bottom half, but they are in 9th position, 4 kills. Team Insane, one of the favorites coming into this tournament. They are in the 10th position with 3 kills. And LegStump, again, a lot of the big names falling out early. I think it's just a matter of nerves, and all the new teams, they want to make a name for themselves. So they are definitely going to be gunning and running, and they're coming for all the big names out there, isn't it?
Right, looking at the fact that all the big names, a majority of the big names, I see them at the second half of the table, makes me wonder, is this PMCO going to be a PMCO of underdogs? We saw cells from PMCO Spring go ahead and win the PMPL, a team that was entirely unknown to everyone. They just went ahead and even talking about Orange Dog. I won't say underdog, but then they were a product who did not really win on the bigger stage. We knew that the team had a lot of potential, and I believe same is the case for the teams who have entered PMCO this time. We know they have potential, but they still have a long way to go.
Well, like I said, that's the beauty about PUBG Mobile, and especially the Indian gaming community, because there's so much untapped potential over here that well, this is how you showcase it. And of course, people say that, all right, what about me? Well, this is your chance. Register for these tournaments, and then you keep going to get better and better, and you go on to bigger and better things. As you just mentioned, the cells, and look at them now. World League, that is the stage that they're at. So it's possible for all these teams as well.
Right, absolutely right. I believe these teams need to keep their head high, confidence high. They need to ensure that they play the best they've ever played. This is their proving ground. They say underdogs don't get a chance, but they have been given a chance. You need to prove yourself, prove your critics wrong, that new teams can come and dismantle the likes of maybe OR, Fnatic, Soul, and all those other teams. But yes, the journey has just begun. One day has gone, and second day we just ended with game 1. We still have 3 more games to go. And before we hop into the break, XP, the team which stood out for you in this map, which is that one team that stood out for you in this map?
VR1 Reckoning. I mean, a lot of teams, even Reckless Esports was doing amazing. So I think the competition in Group C and D is amazing.
Yeah, I believe that. I think this is the most stacked group that we have seen, and it's gonna be fun when we see this particular groups go against XSpark, because XSpark yesterday, when I was analyzing after we ended our session, that XSpark did have a pretty easy group to go against. But when they have the likes of Insane, LS, these teams who have played on the tier 1 level, that's when, real XSpark would be tested. As of now, obviously not snatching them of their glory. They did a great job last night. I think they ended with 89 or 87 points towards the end. Nevertheless, they did a great job. At 35 points going in hands of VR1, pretty sure they must be super happy about it.
I'm pretty sure they are, and well, I can't wait to see when these teams are going to clash in the future. But you know what I can't wait for? Game number 2. I can't have it quick enough. I want it right now.
Yes, but we'll definitely have game number 2 as the boys gear up as they need to, because it takes time. They need to have a quick break, enter the room, wait, so it's fine. Meanwhile, we are always there with our audience. Just a second at it, guys, just to let you all know, if you guys like our work, love our work, you have any feedback, you can always follow us on our socials. 8-bit at the 8-bit underscore thug for me, and at the underscore experiment with the 1. Don't forget that one. Don't miss that one, or else you might end up with some other experiment, and there can be only one Angachal, right?
I mean, you're just going to make me blush. This is not any makeup. This is me just smiling and blushing right now. That's why my cheeks are going red. Appreciate it, Thug. Appreciate it. But yeah, of course, we are always available. But again, just talking about the game, talking about the teams, in fact, one thing I did not like, Reckless Esports, they just destroyed the World Wide Web. I think that's why I had a little problem over here. Maybe that's why my feed just died down. But again, a beautiful, beautiful showing. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing when the teams collide later on with XSpark, like you mentioned. I want to see what happens.
Definitely. I think overall, a great game 1, a great start for the day for Group C and D. A lot of big names might need to buckle up, because they have seen that the competition is pretty high, and seeing the way teams like Reckless and all performed, I think we are moving towards a great remaining day. But for now, let's hop on to a quick break, and we'll be right back after a short break.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open India Fall Split 2020. And what a day it has been. Of course, it's day 2 of the tournament. I am Angad Singh Chahal. I go by the Experiment, and with me is a man who needs no introduction, dressed in black. Let me just say, Thug, you look mighty fine. Of course, Animesh, 8-bit Thug Agarwal. Animesh, what a cracker of a first match we've had.
Yes, it was a great first game, and I believe that we haven't seen like both the days, yesterday and today, we had a great game one. And I'm looking forward to a better game two because we are moving on to Sanhok. That is an even different map where we see a lot of tables. And I would want to see those big names come up on top, trying to fight out and put the underdogs at their place. And let's quickly hop into the game because the map is here and the flight is taken off. Let's quickly hop into the game. Actually, the flight was on you.
All right, this time we're heading from the northeast to the southwest towards the southern aspect of the map, going over Lakavi, and we'll be going right over Nakham and Tambang on either side of the plane part. Now, I want to see action at boot camp, and it looks like my prayers just might be answered, as I do believe Hex Reaper X. That's a nice name. They might be heading over there. They're just testing the waters because STALWART Esports, they've headed all the way towards the northwestern island. A lot of teams heading towards Paradise Resort, towards the northern aspect. I think Cow might be in contention as well. Mongai definitely has the World Wide Web, or website as they're known, landing over there. Pretty spread out right now. I don't think I want to see action. Actually, we might see some action early on, especially towards the north, because I do believe Optimum Esports and VR1 might collide early.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's amazing how conveniently both of these groups, isolate a particular part of the map. In Erangel, we saw them isolating the southern island completely. Here, the entire middle patch, if you see from Painan to Lakavi to Bhan, and that particular area, there's no single team. The teams are going for the edges. LS did go for the boot camp. They are surrounded by Hex on one side. But apart from that, if the circle comes towards Query, LS could have a really easy way into the center, towards the center of the circle. Yes, the northern part is definitely clogged, and we see around, I guess there are 6 teams, 6 big names, which includes Optimum and Insane, of course, and also the team that went for the chicken dinner. Looking at the zone, I think it's very much Eastern centric, and I think a team that goes ahead and takes the compound towards the right of Query, if you see that slide road surrounded by compounds on both the ends, I think that particular compound could be a real hotspot place. Apart from that, we know that there's a patch of hill just to the southern part of Bhan, which is also a good one. They have some certain dips that teams can hold on to.
Well, of course, that is going to be well and good, but we're going to have to see where the next few circles take us because, well, you know how PUBG Mobile is, you know how Sanhok is. The RNG factor is a little bit too much in this, and the circle can sometimes just play ping pong, bouncing from one end to the other. But on our screens right now, we have Optimum Esports. Now, we were a little critical. Now, since I have critical on our screens, we were a little critical about their push that we saw earlier on. I think they could have acted a bit quicker and got the job done. Hopefully they do that this time around and put up a good show. But Revenge CORVUS, they went out with just 3 kills. I was expecting a lot more from them, especially when they have revenge in their name. But Sanhok, now Animesh, let me ask you a question. Suppose you had the same flight path, where would you have chosen to drop?
I think I would have gone somewhere towards Pioneer or maybe the entirely southern part of the map. I think the southern part of Sanhok is underrated. A team like there was a time when when we play those invitationals where streamers are invited to battle it out, and I play with the competitive team of 8-bit. I've seen a lot of times the southern part of Sanhok gives a very flexible part to rotate. So you just need to be a little late with your rotation, but once you start rotating, you get an absolute clear path to move into any part of the map. I think the only circle that completely distorts a rotation that's coming from the south is if something goes towards the northeastern side, like something towards Paradise or even more eastwards. Apart from that, I strongly believe that teams need to explore the southern part of the map because see, if the zone goes to the third island, they can always take the boat, go to the extreme end of towards the left side of the map and rotate from that side. And if it's somewhere else, you can just slowly move your way towards the Painan hill, take the team at Painan and then move it. So I always have a a bias towards the southern part of Sanhok. I feel that it's a really underrated, and a very a new meta that might be coming in soon.
Well, we might, yeah, you're actually absolutely right. We might see that new meta coming in soon, but I don't like the fact that the Northwestern Island isn't even in the zone because I love those high rocky cliff battles. That makes it quite interesting because you only have a couple of ways to, get up to the top, but coming down is quite a headache. But on our screens right now, Nox official, they didn't have the best of games yesterday in the last game, and they're playing as a three-man squad. One of their members hasn't turned up. Again, we talked about punctuality and the fact that the PMCO, we're trying to get this instilled in the younger generation of esports athletes that you've got to be punctual. The Indian standard time, as we all know, does not apply over here. You cannot be late or the game is going to start. And Mogambo on our screens, he was a happy man in the last game, but they did bow out at a decent position, but I'm pretty sure they want to do better right now. Meanwhile, if we have a look at the zone, which is going to come up on our screens shortly, we'll have well, forget that. We have an M249 in the drop. Now, the M249 as a weapon in Sanhok, I do believe it is a good choice, because, well, you have a lot of ammunition, you have a lot of rounds, and it's good for suppressive fire. You can really keep the enemy at bay while your teammates can flank, especially with all the cover around. It kind of makes it difficult spotting enemies. Like, imagine this. If Sarang is hiding behind the rock over there and I just run by, I'm pretty much dead.
Yeah, and let's wait watch and see how VR1 comes out in this game because it's the second game. They had a great start to the PMCO run. In game one with 15 kills. Right now, they looks like they are gonna rotate. They want to have a better pace in the zone. They are very precarious while they are moving. They are very cautious about their movements, but they need to be careful because I see STE closing in, and VR1 versus STE could be on the cards.
Now let's see just how stalwart esports is, because they are a loyal and a hard-working clan, as the word suggests. But Damon actually put up a good show in the last game. But again, that same compound that we talked about earlier, that was hotly contested in Erangel. Let's see what they bring to the table this time around. And they are getting up high on that mountain. They've still got to be careful about VR1 Esports, because I can have a look at Skeleton coming in. I do believe Damon might be in a position to spot them, and Deuce might be the first person to go down. I think Robin might just get a look on the enemy. Has he spotted Punk? Because he did open up his ADS. I think they have an idea that the enemy is nearby, but they're not too sure. But I do believe Skeleton might be heading up, and it might come as a surprise. Again, anything can happen, but we want some blood. We want to see some bullets fly, and we want to see some bodies drop.
Right, and right now we have ST versus VR1. He spots out Punk, and Punk goes down, but instantly there's a cover fire coming from Skeleton to take down ST Sarang. And now ST and VR1, both the teams have locked horns, and might get to see an amazing battle of skill, battle of power, because we have seen both of these teams come out and perform excellently well in the last game. However, this game, they fought early. ST seems to have a height advantage. VR1 might be questioning their position before they want to advance into this fight. Sarang is still not winning. If Skeleton had a couple of nades, I think that would have been pretty helpful in taking down ST1. And looks like VR1 just wants to back off, because I see Skeleton trying to move downwards. Yes, they realize that their position is not really helpful in this case.
Also, you got to keep in mind that Team Insane is not too far off, so they got to be careful not to get third-partied. But I do believe the stalwart esport boys, they weren't really expecting Skeleton to be so close to them, because of course they spotted VR1 near the compounds where they got that shot, and the grenade by Skeleton almost knocked out Damon, so they could have been at a two-man deficit. But I think it's the right call on their part to pull back and just rotate a bit. You don't want to lose your members early on. It's going to be a detrimental effect on your morale and your confidence, and especially when you're coming off as the winners of last game, you do have a little extra target painted on your back. But again, Sanhok is a map with a lot of cover, a lot of rocks all around, tall grass, so hiding is not an issue. It's just that the zone is going to force you out sooner or later.
Yes, and talking about VR1, Punk, Deuce, Skeleton, Rage, all the four players still having a height advantage. They have Hex RPX pretty close to them, and they need to be careful about them. They do have a good opportunity to take out Hex Phoenix, because he seems to be in that house alone, and if these boys decide to push in, they might get one kill in their bag. However, still 9 minutes into the game, not too much of a gun battle. I think we started off with less people in the lobby. I think we started with 63 starting I think we were 63 when the game started. One of the teams was playing a 3-man squad this game. However, another team I think just got eliminated. Looking at the way the zone has come up in Sanhok, I still believe this game might actually go down to the very last circle. We might get to see another game with a clustered end circle.
That is absolutely true, and I do believe, of course, we saw one team had one man short, and Thug, I believe one team did not make it again. That is pretty much a possibility again. I like the fact that the matches are one after the other. It's a short and sweet group stage. It keeps all the viewers engaged as well, keeps all the players on their toes. But like I said, you can't go, you can't go for a coffee break and then expect, that everything is going to be waiting for you. You want to be quick. But anyway, what is quick is I really like one thing. The trigger discipline that some of these teams have actually showcased is something that, you didn't really see a lot of. And what is this? This is a little bit of a surprise. BlitzkriegXP. They are out in the blue, and they've been there for quite some time, but they do have vehicles, so I think that's not going to be a problem. They're going to be coming in nice and smooth. But now this is where the fight is going to take place. If the zone moves in near the quarry, that particular compound that we talked about earlier is already under lock and key, but that hill above to the north is going to be where we're going to see a lot of fighting.
Yes, I believe, talking about that particular compound, one of the most experienced IGLs, Bhishma in the house, went ahead and took that compound. Looks like, I believe that LS has done a great job taking a hold of that compound, because this circle could go anywhere. Right
Ooh.
now, again, a concentric shift. I think the meta just looks like it has changed, because even yesterday, XP, when we watched all the 4 games, we saw concentric shifts in all the 4 maps until the 4th circle. This could be something that, other teams that are not a part of this tournament and would be joining in PMPL, talking about the elites of the Indian PUBG Mobile scene, they might want to, go through this, because this is the PMPL and the esports settings where the maps and the circles seem to have been changed, the way they, proceed.
I think it's just that the zone is being a trickster. It wants to be nice right now, and everyone's like, "Oh, all right, the zone is pretty favorable. Nice, we actually have a chance." And then the zone comes in and says, "Psych!" and then it just does a drastic shift elsewhere. But A, that could be the reason, and B, of course, Thug, you got to wait for Vikendi. I'm pretty sure Vikendi is going to be a map where the zone's going to be pretty much half in the water, first of all, and then it's just going to go all over the place. But right now, not a lot of action in Sanhok. This is pretty uncharacteristic of this map, because you want to see, we should see a lot more bullets flying right now. But I guess kudos to the teams for, they did drop out pretty much spread out. Like you saw earlier, the center of the map, the center of the entire map was pretty much empty. Now teams are going to be colliding with one another as they traverse to the next zone. So all you PUBG Mobile action fans, get ready, call your friends, because a lot of bullets are going to be flying really soon.
Right, and then we have Optimum, Bash, Razor, Moise, and Critic. They're trying to move inside the zone. They have a clear path as of now, but RG, they're walking into RC, and that's Animesh playing right there. In Team RC, and Slaygod just took off Matt, and Team Reckless could be in a lot of trouble.
Exotic over here goes prone. I think he's got an idea that Sahil is behind the line, behind the rock. Both the boys are cooking their grenades. Ooh, that one might be good. Wait a second. Crusher comes in from the side with a grenade and crushes Exotic. That was beautiful. He was just content with one person, but Crusher comes in, gets that knock. Now they are going to be on the back foot. RG, they have to do something. It is a time of reckoning for Team Reckoning. We've got to back up a bit, because Revenge CORVUS can be in a good spot to push in and deliver some punishment. Now Crusher's got to be careful, because he is trying to go for that right flank, but there is another person from RG who is covering it. That's actually good. They are covering their flanks. They know that they have a man down, and they're expecting that the opposition is going to be pushing in.
Right, and right now if you see RC and RG, it's a 4v4 situation right now, and looking at the way RG's position, RC could be a lot of trouble, because RG looks like the more experienced side. Let's see if the underdogs RC, Crusher, Sahil, Aniket, and Animesh are able to take them. Okay, they have an animation team, so I guess
I'm pretty sure you want your namesake to come out on top in this game, right?
yeah,
In this
even I
particular
want
fight.
yeah, so like I'm rooting for like RC in this particular fight, and looking at animation, I think Cloudy would decide to back off.
Ah, there you go. I mean, the moment he reads that on the kill feed, he's like, I don't want to mess with no thug over here. But anyway, the fight is going to be taking place, and RG Reckoning were in a little bit of problematic position. But look at this. This is what I was talking about. Look at the way Clowny, he backed off, and there you go. Just talking about Clowny. He gets a knock on Sahil from way out. And that is going to be the little bit of a knock that is going to set up this assault. The boys are pushing in. They have I think they know that they don't have enough grenades right now, because they would have been locked. Here they come. Crusher gets out, gets a knock. Exotic going down once again. Zero goes down. Clowny goes down. Animesh and Aniket are coming in. They did have grenades after all. That's the last man standing. Can he pull off a miracle for his team right now? No, he cannot. And Reckoning, the team which came second last game, are bowing out in the 15th position with no kills to their name.
Right, a great gunfight by RC, but right now Team BXP, BlitzkriegXP, seems to be stuck with DTH, Sam, Mogambo, Heaven, and
can I just add one point right now?
Yeah.
You know, we have RC Animesh and we have BlitzkriegXP. I think a day is done, right?
Yeah, let's not discuss our hidden shares that we have in this team. So, because we can't really let it out. Anyways, coming to the point, we have BXP holding the highest hill right now, and Sakriya, Volt, Naughty Boy, and I think we have Mad Dog, who are just holding on and they just want to wait. They are near the caves. They don't really want to make much movement. They have the circle. They just want to make it to until the very end and then try to fight it out. I see Volt making some movements. I think just want to hold a particular angle. Meanwhile, Sakriya with a buggy, and I just see them holding, taking angles. They do know that DTH is around. The circle made a shift towards the northwestern side, and looks like the circle might move towards the place where Insane and the other teams are holding right now.
Now, we did see VR1 earlier. They are still around that same hilltop that we left them. Team Insane is, of course, holding their same position as well. A Mark 14 in the drop now. This is a very versatile weapon. You can use it long range as a sniper rifle, or you can go right up close and personal on full auto. That is a gun that has many, many hats. But RC Animesh over here, 2 kills to his name. They did get a squad wipe earlier. Reckoning went down to them, but now it's going to get interesting as all the teams come into one and each other's personal space. And Aniket over here trying to get an angle on Hex Reaper X over there, and talking about Hex Reaper X, Kirito in fact spots him, gets in. How did he see them? How did he see him? I thought Animesh was really, he was really sly about the way he was. Oh, there we go. He saw him because Kirito has a clear angle.
Yeah, and here they're trying to execute the third party, and I think they picked off Animesh entirely. Aniket then goes down. RC in a lot of trouble. I don't think Aniket has enough cover. Meanwhile, Kirito also trying to take some shots and maybe trying to get a lucky connect over Aniket and get a kill, because he was denied his last kill, and Crusher tried to come in and save Aniket, but eventually gets punished by Deuce for trying to save his kill, and Crusher goes down by RXP Zone. Right now what I see is RC is getting hammered from both sides. At one side they have Hex, and the other side they have VR1.
Well, make that 3, because Optimum Esports are pushing up on their position as well. We might see a couple of kills coming in from them, but DTH Heaven goes down to FS Bope Dope. Now, this fight is going to be on our screen shortly, but Sahil does have an idea that there's another team coming in to say hello, and there you have it. Critic and Bash are going to be stealing that kill away from VR1. Sahil again. No, that was a good jump, and he was firing mid-air. There was no chance of survival, and with that, Revenge CORVUS are going to be following the team that they just eliminated moments ago in the 14th position.
Right, and look, talking about VR1, Punk, Q, Skeleton, Range, they look pretty sorted right now with a kill to their name. They're well inside the circle, but talking about FS, not a new team at all. They were previously VST, we have Winterstorm, Boop Dope, Somrats representing them. Pretty decent lineup when it comes to the competitive scenario. We saw them play in the PMIS. They did a great job, and Boop Dope and Winterstorm have been in the scene since quite a long time. But the zone went for a southeastern shift, and I think LS could be so happy right now. LS did not take a single shot as of now, and they are just holding on to that compound. Like, it's been 4 straight zones favoring LS straight up.
Well, you called it, Thug. You said that that compound on the east of Quarry, if the zone comes in, is going to be hotly contested property. And looks like we're going to see a lot of bloodshed over there. But before FS make it into the zone, before Futurestation has a chance to showcase what they're made of, they might have to deal with DTHesports because they are currently outside the zone, but just barely. I mean, they're just like a few steps away. But Bhishma, meanwhile, finally, they rattle off some shots, gets a knock off his own, and looks like FS might be in a little bit of trouble. And their teammates need to actually go in for some aid over here because Somraj was all by his lonesome. Now, I understand that you got to send a person out ahead to scout and see where the enemies are and get as much information as you want, but when you're separated by that much distance and if you get knocked, reviving is going to be virtually impossible.
Yeah, definitely. You need to be at the close proximity of your teammate if you want to actually go for a reverse. Especially both circles that is that close. Meanwhile, FS Pukar straight up going against DTH. They took one off almost, and yes, I think that's VR1. Okay, that's DTH Sam going down. Too much of action happening. The kill is getting mixed up, and then you have DTH Mogambo trying to heal up and goes on instantly. Ryochu is the last guy standing. It could be FS going for that 4-kill bounty, and that's DTH. Ryochu, the last standing guy. Pukar, Winterstorm, and Bovdo. We saw these guys play for VST in the PMIS. A great and stellar show they came up with in the PMIS. Same run they are looking to continue in the PMCO. Ryochu might have to resort to a different rotation altogether. Pukar, I think Winterstorm might as well get revived, but it's crazy to see how Bovdo did not use a smoke while attempting that revive.
I think they did kind of know that enemy's going to back off. They had that huge rock for cover. Ooh, Ninja goes out. Optimum Esports are on fire. Pukar makes sure he finishes off Sam, and well, they just have one member left. Meanwhile, we're going to join a fight between Optimum and Website. Bash over here trying to get some shots on. He did kind of spot him in the window. They know that the enemy's inside. They did get a knock early on. That Molotov was just a bit too far off. Is he going to throw a grenade or is he going to go in the web? He's definitely spotted him now. Bash is going to be making a move. There are two members who they can kind of gang up on him, but BJOP is coming in from the side. Ninja gets a knock on Critic. Down goes Critic. Syringe is going to go down elsewhere. We'll come to that in a second. Ooh, a jump and a knock. Bash getting the job done. However, they do get knocked out. Optimum Esports are going to be bowing out in the 13th position. And guess what? Website have come out on top. And we are going to now focus on this fight between Stalwart Esports and Team Insane.
Yes, we're down to 12 teams, 41 players alive, and Team Insane would be the next team to get wiped out entirely. These big names need to buckle up because they have been playing since a very long time, and you can't just get rolled over by the underdogs, and if you do, that's a thing of shame, to be very honest, because the way Insane has been playing, I don't see that, even talking about Insane, Reckoning is a big name as well. They have been in this scene since a very long time. It's almost been a year since I've seen them playing, and if they cannot perform at such a level, if they cannot perform at such a big stage, if they cannot utilize the chance that has been given to them, they definitely need to go back and think what did they do the last 1 year. Meanwhile, we have Stalwart Esports trying to move in. We have 3 players for Stalwart still surviving. LS still so happy about the circle. It's the 5th circle once again on the particular zone. Looks like I'm gonna be switching decks next season. XP.
I think you have a little crystal ball with you, Thug. That is what's happening, and you are actually looking into the future right now because you called it, and that is exactly where it's heading. If the final zone actually shifts to that compound, I'm going to be surprised. And Blaze overhead trying to blaze up his enemies. He gets one knock, but he is unable to finish them off. Team Insane again getting knocked out early, 12th position this time. 2 kills to their name. Pukar gets an idea of where 2 members of Nox official are hiding. He's going to take a few shots with that QBU. However, he did take a shot, kind of gave his position away, but it's not going to be that much of a problem right now because he has hardly any opposition to contend with. But they are outside the zone, so they are going to have to make their way in, and we are heading to those compounds, the fabled compounds we were talking about earlier, while bodies are going to be falling all around. Reckless versus Website. They are trading kills. Shyla goes down. Ninja is the only one standing. Can Ninja pull off a medical overhead? Ninja goes down as well. Oh boy, now people are just falling like dominoes all over the place, Thug.
Right, and right now we have Reckless still surviving, making it to the top 9, and talk about Matt, Max, Sniper, and I. A great show by them. Although in this game they just have 1 kill, but we know what these boys are capable of. These boys and girls are capable of. We saw it in the last game. Meanwhile, we have Website Prince just trying to survive, but I don't think he's gonna make it to the very top, because just one first aid left, and that's the sixth circle. The damage is impeccable. I think it's so heavy that you cannot really
He
survive
knows
much.
it.
But yes, he took his team to the eighth spot, but I think that's gonna be the end. And yes, website getting eliminated down to 7 teams, 19 players. The circle once again is straight on top of Ellis.
Now, out of these 7 teams, only 3 have all 4 members alive. LegStump, BlitzkriegXP, and Reckless Esports. That is definitely going to be an advantage. Blitzkrieg are finally going and living up to their name, the Lightning War, and they are getting a couple of knocks. Now, they have that compound in control, so that is, of course, going to help them out. But Aditya, meanwhile, gets a knock on Hex Sweeper X's Kinetic. So we have a couple of fights breaking out. Mad Dog and the boys, they have a little bit of an uphill battle, so to speak, and, well, grenades are going to be cooked. Ooh, Naughty Boy gets knocked out from that grenade via syringe. Mad Dog, lucky to be alive. But again, they still have the zone barely. I think what they need to do is wait for the fight to take place up above, and then kind of try and make them move.
Yeah, absolutely right. And here we have Reckless, who might want to take the LS. If LS ends up not taking this game, not taking a chicken dinner this game, then they would definitely have to think about it. All they have done this game is just took one compound, and the zone kept on forming on them. Right now, they need to go out in the open. They have 10 people in front of them. They need to get some kill points, or else, this is the kind of thing that stop. Yes, they wipe out the entire BXP squad. They did have a huge advantage. Like, BXP is just stuck, and I think BXP Bolt just get inside the water, and Joker.
Oh my goodness!
And same for Bhishma. Why would you want to just step down and get stuck? And Bhishma might as well repent this decision, and yes, it did, and that's such a amateur move. Although they do have those 9 kills, but if LS loses out this chicken dinner, because they are now down to 2-man XP.
You don't expect this from these boys. These guys are, like you said, tier 1 players. They've been in so many tournaments. Joker, I don't know if he jumped or that was a slip of his foot, but he has paid the ultimate price. He is out of the game, but 3 teams alive. Now, LegStump, will Bhishma make it? Reckless match goes down. Aditya is going to be standing for his team. Can he do something? He is out in the blue and the zone is moving in. I doubt Reckless Esports are going to be making it in unless Futurestation and LegStump kind of rack off against one another, because it is still a 3v2v2 situation. Ooh, God, with a few shots on Syringe's foot, almost getting the job done, but that damage is going to be a little bit of a problem. Winterstorm and Pucar are now moving in, with Aditya getting a knock from the side. Oh my goodness, he manages, along with the blue zone, to get a knock over there, and he goes down himself. A valiant effort by the lad over there, Thought. But on top, winner chicken dinner is going to go out to no one else other than Team LegStump.
What a game. What a show put up by Reckless. Obviously, I'm not going to take off the glory from LS. They are perfect IGLing by Bhishma. Or amazing prediction. Going for the safest possible compound in the entire circle. But the way that last guy from Reckless played it off, he brought his team. I think got his team 5 extra points. From third, he took them to second with additional kills. So that's 5 extra points for his team. Great job by Aditya and Reckless. What a consistent performance by them overall.
I mean, they played wonderful in game 1. They've done well in game 2, of course. And again, I'm just going to go over to that fight between LegStump and Blitzkrieg. Mad Dog and the boys, they almost had it. They had to just come up, wait a little, but they went in for the revives, which cost them because they were trapped. The blue zone at one end and a cliff on the other. LegStump comes up top, gets those shots in, and they just kind of put themselves in the coffin, really.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that was something that changed this, the entire game for BXP. But yes, let's talk about the MVP, and we have Bhishma coming up with the MVP, the IGL for LS Focus, 276 damage, 25.5 survival time, and then obviously not much distance covered because it's a small map, and they had the zone coming up on them throughout the game.
Of course, the damage and the kills might not match up, but this is a battle royale, and it doesn't matter how you get the kills. A kill equals 1 point. Remember that. So that is a valiant effort on his part. And I do believe he did steal that kill earlier on with his Mini 14 when there was a fight going on. But wonderful job by Team LegStump. They kind of showed a lot of patience and restraint is what they kind of, emphasized on, because they could have made a few moves, but they held on to that compound. It can kind of get boring when you have to sit at the same place, just looking out the same window for like 20 minutes, but well, I guess target paid off in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, it definitely did. I think the way they played it out, they held on to their nerves. They did not make any mistakes. They ensured that no one comes to the close proximity of LS, And I think this is the best part. I think the best part about LS this game was it did not allow anyone to take over that compound or come so close that it could be a threat to them. The last push that we saw was the only push that happened on LS. That was the from team Reckless and FS trying to move in, and that was the last circle fight. Obviously, with the man advantage, LS should have won it, and they went ahead and won this. I think they ended up with approximately 13 kills. 13 kills, I think, if I'm not wrong, and that could be 33 points on the points table for them. Let's quickly talk about the match points. I think we have them on screen, and yes, LS 31 points extra.
Well, 31 points, 11 of which come from kills. And if you thought that, they were silent at the beginning, well, they made up for that in the end, winning the chicken dinner. Reckless coming in second with 17 points. Futurestation doing a wonderful job keeping their hopes afloat in third with 16. Blitzkrieg finally showing up to the day, ending game 2 in the fourth position with 13 points. Hex Reaper X in fifth with 11. Now, something I'm going to point it out. 8 position is occupied by VR1 Esports. Now, they had an early exit, and I think, I don't know if I want to say hesitancy, but they kind of backed off of a fight early, which I think kind of cost them on the leaderboard.
Yeah, I think that did happen, and I think, this is where the teams need to be confident enough in because their instincts. They have played it out, they have fought it until here, and they need to continue doing so. Just because you see a team's name in front, which you think could be a threat, did not be a threat, not necessarily a threat. It may turn out to be, your boys may turn out to be the better players. We've seen that happen. We have seen a lot of big names go down when they face an underdog because of the unpredictability. Like, these underdogs, they come up with different kind of moves. Like you perfectly pointed out yesterday, we might get to see a new meta. We might get to see a new style of fighting because over the years, we have seen so many players evolve. So many different things come up. Who knows, these guys have a lot of tricks inside their pockets.
Before we head on to the next game, I just want to point one thing out. Now, from the well-known teams, Team Insane. Now, a lot of weight is on their shoulders. But before that, let's have a look at a little bit of, the top 5 players from the game. Syringe. Let me just talk about Syringe. 1 headshot, 3 kills, 731 points of damage. So that's where Bhishma kind of helped him out. So that is good. Of course, they are in the same team, so they won't mind that little exchange in kills. In third, we have FS Winterstorm, who had a good game as well. 3 kills, 560 points of damage. NINJAX dominated with 3 kills, 378 to his name. So, I guess the NINJAX can go and tell something that hey, look, we're doing good in life. We better stop calling us this. We might see a name change in future. But again, before going to the break, Team Insane, they need to buck up.
Yeah, like looking at the names that are present in Team Insane, we have IT Prince,
Big names.
we have Dana Deep, we have Shockwave, we have some really big names who have been, we can call them like experienced players compared to a lot of other teams that are playing right now. Let's quickly see the overall point standing and see where this team stand right now, XP.
Ooh, right on top, of course, they've only played 2 games, but XSpark is still going to be holding the first position, 85 points. And if we just have a look at the bottom half over here, VR1 Esports seems like they can actually threaten XSpark for their top position. They are sitting in the 5th spot, and NINJAX, of course, they missed a game yesterday, so they are going to be losing out on that. But Reckless Esports, Team LegStump are on the first half of the table, and on the second half of the table, BlitzkriegXP and Reckoning. So again, out of the 32 teams right now, we still have 2 games to go today, but looks like a few teams are coming for that number 1 position.
Yes, I think a few teams are coming for the number 1 position. The teams that played on day 1, they must be worried looking at the way the teams from Group C and D are performing. And looks like a lot of teams are ready to overtake the position that was cemented by the teams from Group A and B last night. Here we have Hex for 2 games, 14 points. I think only 3 teams in the last stage, the Futurestation, STALWART Esports, and Hex Reaper. Let's talk about Futurestation. Pretty decent team. Okay, they are 32 teams. I completely lost that. But then, yes, we have a few more teams at the bottom up. Those are struggling definitely. DTS, Nalayak, Revenge Website, Nox. Insane. 2 teams, 2 games, and just 7 points XP.
Well, I guess it's too early to speculate on what's going to happen, because if you think about it, forget about day 1. Right now, day 2, only 2 games have been played, and this is a league, and we have a lot of days in store for you guys. So I guess, again, Thug, they just need to be confident in their skills, because they have made it to the PMCO India Fall Split 2020. So it means they do have something to offer. It's just that get comfortable and show the world what you made of.
Definitely, yeah. Like I'm waiting to see how the 14 days unfold, because we have a long way to go. A few of the teams would get, I think, eliminated towards the first half of the PMCO. Then we move on to the top 24, where we get the teams who make it to the finals. But yes, I still believe that it's just been like 6 games, and a lot of teams have played just 2 out of them. So, like you said, no speculation on the performance from Insane and
Mhm.
Reckoning, and I guess Optimum.
But of course, we're not going to speculate about that. But they do need to buck up because they have a lot of fan following and a lot of pressure as well. If you think about it, because we have seen 4 players. Remember, it is a 6-man squad. That is the beauty about this tournament, that you can have 6-man rosters, and a couple of big names are still going to be revealed from that team.
Definitely, I'm waiting and I'm looking forward to see how the remaining 2 games unfold, because we have 2 very interesting maps coming up, slow-paced maps, Vikendi and Miramar, and I'm looking forward to that. But before that, we need to hop into a quick break while I go and quickly fetch my coffee. See you XP on the other side after a quick short break.
Catch you, buddy.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to PUBG Mobile Club Open 2024 split. This is me, 8-bit Thaga Nimish Agarwal, and I have with me Angachal, the experiment. XP, how are you doing, man? What a cracker of a day. What a cracker of an event. I think we are looking at some really nice next 12 days with us.
Action, of course, started off in an amazing fashion. Erangel kicked off with some amazing gunfights, and we have two more maps left for you this day, Miramar and Vikendi. Of course, the next one coming up is going to be Miramar, so buckle in because it's going to be a long but exciting match. And something we saw earlier, Sanhok uncharacteristically slow.
Yeah,
we didn't see a lot of action right off the bat.
Yes. And I believe that, Sanhok being slow, the game would get even slower because we are dropping in straight up into Miramar, the biggest map in PUBG Mobile. And the map is ready, the flight path is ready. It's going from Latvia to Impala. XP, I'd like you to take over.
Well, I love the way that it's pretty much straight. It's going west to east. However, it is towards the southern side of the map. So all the teams who want to head to their favorite drop spots towards the north, like La Cobreria or Campo Militar, are going to have to get those vehicles and go on a long drive, which again, is something that I wouldn't mind, especially in the situations that we are in. But it would seem like a couple of teams are heading out to El Pozo straight off the bat, while only one team so far is heading south of the plane path, and that team is Hex, Reaper X. We haven't really seen a lot from them as yet, even though they have Reaper in the name. We should be seeing them rack up the kills, but maybe Miramar is going to be their match.
Yeah, Miramar could be the game because the flight path is pretty much unfavorable for any team trying to go towards El Pozo, Hacienda, El Azhar, La Cobreria, because this, like you mentioned, these are big compounds. A lot of teams have their strategies built around it, and the circle is a curse. Teams need to drop down, take vehicles, hit the northern part of the map, come down, and we know XP rotations in Miramar, they are a pain.
They are definitely a pain because, it is pretty much an open fight. I know you have your ridges, you have your high grounds, you have your mountains. But the thing is, there's so much, you can get shot from any direction. You've got to make sure you have a good 360-degree cover at all times. And you at least know where the enemies are coming from because the distances are long. And if you are good with a bolt action or a DMR, well, this is the map for you. But looking at the circle, I think a few of the teams were flying further north, but they saw the circle and they decided, you know what, let's stay close by. Let's cement our position in the zone early on, as Hex, Reaper X will do, Reckoning are going to do. So it's going to be favorable to them. LS, Team LegStump. Now, according to the players, of course, we know the players played the World League, some of them, and some of them have played bigger tournaments. I was expecting them to head over to El Pozo, but I'm pretty sure they saw the zone and they're like, you know what, let's capitalize on this situation.
Right, absolutely right. And looking at the teams, I see a lot of them going already towards the center of the southern circle because they realized that ultimately, if the teams would have gone back and seen what LS did in the last game, they must have realized by now that it was all about the center circle. The circles have been concentric. They are shrinking in a very, very balanced out manner. We haven't seen too much of hardships happening. So definitely the center is evolving as a meta once again. We have ESN Bang OP, we have Ferno, Pirate Jax, and Zoe. 4 players. I think they've gone to St. Martin, and they would want to loot and try to make a move as soon as possible. Although it's just 1400 meters of distance, but obviously looking at the place, the area where the zone is, where the circle is right now, they might just want to go towards the center part.
I wish someone dropped at the prison, because they would have had that island to themselves. And then imagine if the zone final circle shifted towards the prison and all they had to do was camp a bridge and wait for the enemies to come towards them. PUBG gods, if you are listening, please make that happen. We'll find out. But we are one on our screens right now. Amazing first game. Second game, not so good. Maybe third game is going to be their lucky charm, but they do have 40 plus points. They are pretty much going for XSpark's position right on top of the leaderboard. So again, they need to play safe, they need to play smart, and I think good, consistent gameplay is the order of the day for a lot of these teams, because it doesn't matter if you get knocked out early, at least those kill points are definitely going to help you out. But these boys are still at the junkyard right now, about 300 meters out. The zone is going to move in 10 seconds. And let me ask you a question. Do you think we're going to see some vehicular manslaughter, some drive-bys in this game?
Yeah, I think we might get to see some drive-bys, but from what I've seen, these teams don't really tend to get aggressive when they see rotations happening. They are like, you go your way, I'll go mine, and we don't really need to step out of our vehicles, out of the air conditioned comfort zone and put on those guns. Like,
it is a hot day.
Yeah, it's a hard day at work. They just want to ensure they get inside the circle, and especially in the deserts of Miramar. Who would really want to step out when the sun is so hot and we have summers going on?
Well, I like the fact that one of the members from Stalwart Esports had a hat on. That gentleman is a smart man. All that shade is definitely going to help him out. But Reckless, bad boy over here. Now they are looting up, and Reckless, they haven't won a game yet, but they came second, and they came second twice, didn't they? So I mean, they came second twice.
Yeah, I think they came third on game one and then second
Oh yeah,
in
third
game two.
in
But then
game
they're
one.
having a great average. I think they're averaging at a 70.5 in 2 games. That's not bad. You know, if they continue the same average, they'll end up with 70 points. That could be one of the second best average that we have seen until now. We have seen Team XSpark with an average of 20.25 on day one. But still, let's see how Reckless comes up. But yes, the team that was a talking point. Insane Exampuali, Insane ID Prince, the team coming all the way from, I guess, my hometown. I think the team has its roots from Guwahati, and looking at the way these guys are performing, they definitely need to buckle up because these are some big names. And RC and Imesh, RC Crusher, Sahil, and Aniket, they did put up a good fight last game, but then they need to continue doing so until the very end.
But I do believe we might see a fight break out in El Pozo, as we did see RC on our screens earlier. But NY Dominator over here and his teammates are out on a drive. They're trying to get into the zone, and I think they are. I have an idea of this area. I think it's east of Los Leones, so we might see some urban warfare later on. But the World Wide Web, as I like calling them, I know their name is website, but the www dot is just too compelling to not say otherwise. I want to see a .com at the end as well. Someone please, let's sign a petition, Thug. Let's make them have it as www.prince.com. Forget that, because one of their teammates is under fire. Shyla almost getting knocked out, but Damon, I think a little bit of spray control would have been a good idea, but I think Biju might get clobbered.
Yeah, Damon needs to spend a lot of time on the training grounds after today's session, because the way he's using the M4 3X, I think that's disrespect. Like, M4 is a great gun. If you can't just, he was unable to almost utilize the height advantage that, yeah, Viju would have gone down for sure if, he would have been able to control their spray. And I don't know what STALWART Esports is doing right now. They had a, that's the time that's the only glance that you get at your opponent. That's when you need to get those knocks out. Robin could spot Ninja. I think he had enough time, decent time to take off Ninja. I could not. Demon emptied the entire mags in trying to take Viju down, while ultimately Sarang coming in clutch for his team. We've seen Sarang perform really well, and Sarang goes down from Shyla with the amazing Carnentiate shot connecting straight up to his head.
Well, Shyla is like, you took shots at me, now it's my turn. And with one shot, knocks a person. But the thing is, Stalwart Esports, they have to come in the zone. As to website, they're only about 100 meters out. But I guess they can take a little damage from the blue. It is zone. It is a second zone after all. So it's not going to be, that effective. But I do believe they should back out. And the thing is, see, Stalwart Esports, they can back off right now. I'm pretty sure they have vehicles. They can actually do a left rotation, or they can go right and, come around website. But I think website need to prioritize the zone right now. See, there you have it. They've split in twos, and they are moving their separate way. And I guess website is going to do the same.
Yes, and talking about the way teams are rotating, as of now, I see LS trying to take a very difficult terrain, a very difficult path, coming in from Val del Mar, Minas del Valle, and then they might just want to station themselves below Minas del Valle. That's where, if zone ends up towards that part, I think LS could have a great spot. But right now, it's still very difficult to predict the zone. It might just go towards the northern part, and if it does, Optimum might be a happy side. Right now, Shyla is knocked out, but still no casualties. 16 team, 64 players still on their mark.
I guess they took revenge, because Shyla was the one who got that Car 98 shot earlier on, but now seems to be on the knees. But see, this is what I meant. The way Stalwart Esports, I told you, they could have rotated left, or they could have rotated right, and they could have actually come out and blocked website. Now website, I think they left it a bit too late, and Sarang for some reason doesn't want to wear a helmet. Makes sense. It's hot and it's stuffy. It's a hot day, and that hat is going to be cooling him off a little bit more. But I think he has an idea where Viju is. He's going to be cooking that grenade, or is he not? He spots him. He takes a few shots. Ooh, Viju OP. That's good reaction time on his part as he gets out of harm's way. But now Sarang is going to be on the back foot, and, he's got to be careful.
Yes, he need to be careful. These guys were given a lot of chance to pick off the team website. But right now, website have pushed in, and look at Damon. He is trying to crouch prone, and then he has level 1 West and level 1 helmet. I don't understand why would STALWART try to push on WWW when they don't have enough equipment, when they don't have a level 2 West or a helmet. Right now he's coming with a nade, might take down a couple. Okay, yes, does knock out WW Prince, but then Shyla finishes ST Sarang. And the efforts of Damon go in vain. Another nade coming up. Ninja is unable to provide the cover. I don't know what VGOP is up to. From all I see, zero movements from VGOP. Just standing there, and that's Shyla going on as well. That's a pretty amateur move. XP.
That was a pretty amateur move. They should have actually anticipated the fact that grenades are going to be coming their way. But props to Damon over here for getting the job done. Wait a second, he's still not done. He is still not done. He wants that Grenadier title, but Ninja has to leave his teammate behind. And is he going to be like a ninja? Is he going to be slick? Is he going to be fast? Is he going to deliver death to his enemies? It is going to be Damon who's going to be blocking him right now while his teammates make a hasty retreat. Smoke's going out so that it's easier for him to run away, but Ninja can be problematic over here. I think he's going for the revive on Shyla. Now, again, Thug, this is the second zone, so it's not going to hurt as much, only if they have enough medkits.
Yep, and talking about the fight between STALWART and Website, I think both Website and STALWART, both of our teams showed a real, like this reckless performance. It was I would say a careless performance, the way they fought it out. Although I think it could be ST at the end wiping out Website, but I felt both the teams did a lot of technical mistakes on their end. What do you think, XP?
I think the same, because they're waiting too much. I get it that you want to get those kill points, but you can't be just fighting another team. You have 15 other teams to... Whoa, wait a second. That was brilliant by Ninja. The way he reacted with such speed and such vigor, getting the job done, but it's still not over yet. Viju OP is bleeding out. 2 members left. It's a 2v2 situation between Website and STALWART Esports. It can go anywhere. Wait a second. Blaze OP goes down. However, he gets a knock on Ninja. It was the play zone that got Blaze OP. So we're now down to a 1v1. And again, Thug, I do believe they wasted a lot of medkits and they wasted a lot of time in this fight.
I believe both of these teams are going down, STALWART Esports and Website. Oh, yeah. This is suicidal. The way STALWART approached this fight, the way Website did it, the way Viju OP from Website decided to hold on while he saw his teammates getting massacred by STALWART, and there's Demon coming in, trying to close in. Demon's pretty low, Shallow trying to take off. Opens the ADS, does those mistakes that you see the amateurs do, and what else would you expect for a team that's making it to the PMCO for the very first time? I believe the Website needs to work on their fight.
I do think that... Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think they had an advantage, Thug. They definitely had an advantage, but like I said, they spent too much time. And look at how far they are in the blue. Look at the graveyard. STE, they have to walk all that way, mind you, but have a look at the new zone and the western edge. Oh my goodness, chock full of teams. LS right in the middle between Insane at one end and RG at the other. We might see some sparks fly really soon.
Right, and talking about the circle, looks like a pretty much centralized circle. LS might have to just move in towards the center right now. Hex Arc in DXP could be pretty happy about the way the circle is closed in. Nox is might want to go for the rotation, although they do have the edge. Right now, Nox has the entire team 16 right in front of them. It's Nox versus ESN, and Nox takes down one, ESN takes down the other. Pretty easy trade fires. We are going to see BXP comes from the behind. Dexos is down. God is pretty low. Mayank and Octopus need to step up their game, or it could be ESN wiping out Nox completely.
Now, the fact is, ESN is going to split up. Wang OP is the only man standing right at the front of the battle lines with his teammate bleeding by his side. Ooh, that was a good grenade. Slayglaw taking some more damage as well. And Clowny gets a kill on Snipu. Elsewhere, we are going to be joining that fight shortly. But NOX official. Now, these guys are in trouble. Daxus has been picked up. That grenade is hopeful. It has been lobbed with a lot of might, and it kind of splits the enemies on the other side. That was actually a good grenade. I've got to give him props for that. But now Pirate JX has come in, and Bang OP is going to go in for the kill. They've got to be careful of Mayank. Have a look at where he is behind in the building. He's in a good flank position. And what's this? Optimum Esports are driving by as well. This might become a Mexican standoff soon enough, because Razor and Sax Leo have definitely dismounted, and Nox official could be in trouble.
Right, and talking about Nox and ESN, both the teams 4v3 situation as of now. We have Optimum as well. Even this, talking about Optimum, this players need to step up. We have Sax, Leo, Critic, Razor, Muiz OP, some really talented boys playing out, and they need to step up. Meanwhile, Reckless one more time wipes out RG.
Reckless has wiped out RG once again, and Reckless, they are playing Reckless. These guys and girls are on fire. And wait a second, we just have a little bit of a late thing, of course. That was where, oh, they backed off. They backed off. That little graphic kind of put me off guard, but I thought Optimum Esports is going to come in for the fight. They have backed off. I think they realize that a fight is already breaking off. I think they might be going around and trying to get a flank on Team ESN. Have a look at where Razor is. If he pushes further on left on our maps right now, he's in a good position to get knocks on Zoe, Inferno, and Pirate JX. Bank OP has a lot of weight on his shoulders, because he's the only one who's making sure nothing comes in from their right flank.
Right, and talking about the 14 teams, 46 players that are left, we are down to the fourth circle. Yes, XP, come again?
I said they're going for it. Have a look at Team 14. Have a look at Razor and Saxleo. They want to go on that left flank, but I wonder what's stopping them.
I think it could be Insane. If you see the position that Insane is holding, they're like, if they go towards the left flank, they would be completely exposed to Insane's gunpowder and, proper gunpowder, not the obscene one. Anyways, yes, we have ESN Pirate JX. These guys are just holding. I think Optimum should go for the zone because I don't think they have much to get from this fight right now. Rather, if they try to focus on zone, they might as well end up in the top 5 because the zone has completely made a northward shift and they might as well just have a lot of benefits.
You know, as you just said that Zoe from Team ESN has gone to the zone. They're trying to get a foothold, in fact, in the new circle, I beg your pardon. And I guess they want to go for the kills as well because they know that they are closer to the zone as compared to the other team. And have a look at this. Optimum Esports are in a bit of trouble. Meanwhile, elsewhere, DTH's Sam goes down to the play zone. I believe DTH Esports might be in a bit of a pickle with another team. I did see some action when we saw the minimap earlier on, but Mayank has been knocked out right now. And again, like I said, Nox official, they are in trouble. A couple of good grenades can be devastating, but have a look at Saxleo's position. They're finally moving in as well. They do have vehicles, so that is going to be very helpful. And unfortunately, Sam has lost and he's out of this game thanks to the blue zone. Ooh, Tugsy, now it's happening. The play zone is coming into play, and with that, a couple of boys from Nox official have been knocked out. But MCYS OP from Optimum Esports comes in and capitalizes on the situation, getting that kill. RC Animesh goes down as well. They are in trouble. They are in trouble. Nox official is going to be. Oh, that's it. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. Daxos knows that he is a dead man walking. He can try to make the best of it, but I guess he doesn't want to give his loot to anyone, which, if you think about it, is not really a lot. But this is going to be an exit. Oh, he does lay down a few shots, but none of them hitting their mark.
I mean, like,
and with that,
XP, I still don't understand why teams don't realize that zone is your biggest enemy in game. It's not your opponents, it's not the other 60 players you're going against, it's the zone. You need to, this is one thing that you can handle. You cannot ensure that you don't get killed by a skillful player in front of you, but you can at least ensure that you don't get killed by the zone. You should always prioritize circle. This is something that I keep telling my boys. This is something I keep telling everyone that comes to me. Okay, like, how should we go about it? I say, like, zone is the first thing that you need to ensure that you are into. But right now we have ESN versus Optimum. Optimum does have an upper hand out there. I think both the teams are pretty much balanced. No upper hands to anyone. But ESN need to be careful. They might just get picked off by Insane.
Now, you know, you did just talk about something earlier on. We're going to come back to that after the game ends because I do have a point in mind, which of course we'll bring it up later. But yeah, ESN, they are still in the zone. Meanwhile, Winterstorm over here rattling off a few bullets at Aniket. He goes down, but it's a bit too late as Aniket is going to get that knock with his ratatatata, and he gets that kill as well. But he gets taken out by Nalayak Ninja, and with that, Revenge CORVUS are going to be eliminated in the 13th position with 2 kills to their name, and Somraj is going to be left the last man standing for Futurestation.
Right, and talking about the remaining teams, we have 12 teams, 36 players. Pretty much, I think this game was too intense compared to how we generally see Miramar. It was like, I think the action started from 8 to 7 minutes. Right now, we have BXP, VR1, DTH, FS Somraj, STALWART Esports, LS, Optimum, Hex, ESN, Nalayak still making it to the top 12, and Insane once again in trouble. They've lost Shockwave already, and they're down to 3 men. Reckless, still playing recklessly. I see them making it. But Kirito just now took off LS Artemis, and I think, okay, so they are getting third party, right? I think, okay, it's not third party, just ESN going ham on LS.
Well, the thing was, I thought that they were actually, LegStump were heading in Team Insane's direction, but they get thwarted instead by Team ESN. And that was a beautiful spray, getting 2 people down in that. They might capitalize on the kills. We'll have to wait and find out. But Insane Prince is going off as he gets a grenade knock on Bhishma. I see a lot of people down. Karito comes in with a knock on Kinetic. That is going to be a team knock. That is going to be devastating. However, Ninja is going to go in for the kill. I think he does get one knock. Wait a second. There are so many teams fighting. Is LegStump out? No, they're not, because Nalayak are going to get knocked out before them. I thought everything was working for them. But they just went out in a blink of an eye. And with that, we have 10 teams remaining. Insane, against all odds, are still alive. But Team ESN, Thug, the guys who, you know, got those amazing kills from distance, they have bowed out in 10th position as well.
I think the biggest mistake that both the teams ESN and Nalayak did, that they came out in the open. The opponent had a third-party advantage. I saw all the 4 boys out there in the open without any cover. It just took one good spray from the boys of Insane and LS to wipe out the other 2 teams easily. Right now, Puali goes down. Insane looking strong with his 5 kills, but it's up to IT Prince and Artemis. 2 front-end assaulters. We know both of them. We know what they're capable of. Ranadeep takes down Artemis, and then, but ultimately it's Alice who goes down. Alice once again gets wiped out. Big name, but then the performance is disappointing. Yes,
that was a bit of disappointment. That is a good Molotov as well. Is it going to do damage? But yeah, Team Insane finally waking up in Miramar. I do believe they have 7 kills to their name. Oh, that is a big grenade by Aditya. Mugambo goes down and the whole ground just shook. That second grenade can be devastating for Ryochu as well. He is trying to heal himself up, but that smoke can only obscure your vision. It will not block things coming in. That does damage, and Reckless Aditya is going to go in for the kill. He is in a reckless situation right now. He gets that kill and the knock. 2 kills to his name, and with that, in 7th position, DTHesports exit the game.
Right, and talking about Team BXP, the BlitzkriegXP, Sakriya, Mad Dog, Volt, and Naughty Boy. And then we have Sakriya and Mad Dog with 3 kills, making it to the top 6. The zone is in favor of Team Hex. And will we see Hex, RPX, Zern, Kirito, Kinetic, and Phoenix go for the chicken? Now it's gotta be Team Reckless. Reckless needs to be wary of BXP. What was their western first side, and Optimum Critic, I think Razor goes down, and Damon still surviving. Nice to see STALWART Esports still making it to the top 6. However bad would their fight was against, I think, which team was the fight against? I missed out on the name. I think it was VR1, if I'm not wrong. However bad was their fight, they still eventually made it to the top 6, and they might be, you know, farming some points for their team. Right now we have Reckless holding a good dip. Bad Boy has a good chance to stop the rotation from some other teams. XP.
You know, the thing is, right now, Hex, Sweeper, X have the only compound in the zone. So that is going to be hotly contested. Reckless do not have a lot of cover. They just have smoke cover over here. Now, BlitzkriegXP, they can actually wait for them to have a fight and then slowly come in. But Reckless, Bad Boy at range, trying to rattle off shots in Team Insane's direction, who are under fire from Hex, Sweeper, X, as well as Zern gets a couple of knocks on their team. That is going to be a big problem for the boys from Team Insane. And I like the way Hex, Sweeper, X are controlling their compound right now, but Reckless are on a rampage. They do have 6 kills, 4 of which have come from Bad Boy, who is still not letting up as he shoots at STALWART Esports Damon, who lost his member Blaze OP just seconds ago. He's going to be the last man standing. And look at that position, Thug. Right in the center of the road, behind his buggy, he's got smoke cover, but for how long? That is the question.
Right, and let's see how long can this survive, because obviously once the smokes ends, it's going to be out there in the open in front of Insane and Optimum, and I think IT Prince goes down. Along with that, Team Insane gets eliminated at the 6th spot with 7 kill points, and I think he did a great job racking in those 13 points right now. X has a great opportunity, 6 kill points. Reckless has a good chance, an experienced side with 6 kill points as well. It's a 4v3v3v2v1 situation. Hex look at the strongest on paper right now, but then we know it's not about the paper, it's about the gun skill. Hex Tito takes down BPX. Mad Dog, we have Bad Boy trying to connect some of those mini 14 tap shots, but unable to do so. Reckless needs to play carefully. They don't need to go out reckless because they have a good chance to get a good lead XP.
I saw that coming. I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, true, but they can still make it to that compound. They can have some cover because they've got to be careful. Blitzkrieg is coming in from the side, and if they are not careful, they are going to hurt them, and they're going to hurt them bad. But Optimum Esports, they are still in a good position because they are still part of the zone. They have that nice little dip for cover. They don't need concrete buildings for cover. They just they're happy with Mother Earth, so they are in good position. They are against the opposition, who are going to have to fight it out amongst themselves. And have a look at Sakria. He is the last man standing for the amazing BlitzkriegXP, and he can do some damage on Bad Boy. Again, Reckless Esports, they have 3 members alive. The only team with all 4 alive are the ones who are in charge of the only compound that was in the zone right now, where Aditya is. That is going to be hotly contested property, especially around that rock where you see that smoke. I think Reckless need to make a move, capitalize on that, and then go forward.
Right, and talking about Hex, XP, Kirito, Kinetic, Phoenix, and this boys, they need to be careful right now because Aditya has closed in, like he's really close, and a couple of nades from Aditya which goes unnoticed. Meanwhile, Sakriya, who's trying to survive, gets knocked off entirely. We have Reckless, Bad Boy, Aditya, and Matt, the 3 players who might just want to push in right now because it's time. And from the, if I see the zone is actually not favoring either of these teams. With someone close to Critic, Optimum, Team Optimum, and then Hex RTS playing it so safe. Optimum might just want to, Team Optimum might just want to pick off and ensure that none of these players goes in. Bad Boy gets knocked but gets confirmed. Oh, that was a good attempt by
He
Critic.
could have stolen it. He could have. He did. He did not. Hex got that kill, thug. But anyway, coming back to the game, 4 teams alive, 9 people, and Optimum Esports look like they are in a good position, good cover over there. We're going to concentrate on the fight over here between Reckless Esports and Hex. Reaper X 2 versus 3 situation. Who's going to come out on top? Phoenix, can he rise from the ashes and deliver some hurt on Matt or Aditya, or will Reckless play safe? Are they going to come out on top? Meanwhile, Critic rattling off bullets, gets that knock. Finally, in fact, did he get the knock?
Talking about Sex Leo, Critic, I think no, I don't think they got. Who got the kill?
Somebody died.
Somebody died. Sure. Yeah, I think team number 12, the last guy surviving from team number 12 died, and I think it was Stalwart. But never.
Oh yeah, it was Damon.
Yeah, I think it was Damon who died, and I think that was the zone. But talking about the circle, I think the last circle has gone in favor of Optimum, and now both these teams need to move out in the open. Optimum might want to reposition them. Their MCYS might go down if Kinetic showed some. If Kinetic showed some confidence and actually tried to take him down, MCYS might have gone down. But then, no, and MCYS, I think, catches fire. Yes, it does. He decides to back off instantly. No shots taken on MCYS, and he pulls off a successful back off. Right now, Reckless and Hex both are stuck unless they decide to move in strongly.
You got to keep one thing in mind because, yeah, they are stuck, but I do believe if Optimum Esports comes in and makes a move, Hex Reaper X are going to be in a lot of trouble because they are potentially in a position to get sandwiched. But have a look at how Optimum Esports are holding back. They have 1 man forward in that grenade doing some damage. They have 1 man forward, but they want to make sure that they keep them covered from behind. And Critic does cover him with a grenade knock on Kinetic. MCYS OP makes sure he finishes that kill. That is a brilliant job by the lad who's just transferred in from Initiative Esports. Phoenix over here healing himself up. Remember, Reckless are still in the picture because Matt is still alive, but they've finally been knocked out. They bow out in 3rd position with 8 kills, and now Zern is going to go up against Optimum Esports. And wait a second, I thought that was a good knock, but Hex, Reaper X are going to be knocked out in the 2nd position. That means Optimum Esports get the winner chicken dinner. And you know what? It was a totally deserved win, Thug. The way they controlled the last 2, maybe 3 circles just show their sheer dominance.
For sure, I think what a crazy game by Hex and Optimum. Both of the teams fought it until the very end. And talking about Reckless, what a stellar show they are putting up. 3 games. They have a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 3rd finish with a good amount of kills. I think they're averaging at 8 kills a game. What else do you expect from a side that was not known until now? But then the consistency that's being able to show, I'm pretty sure even the top-rated teams fail to show such amount of consistency at such a high level of gaming.
And you talk about high levels, and you've been there, I've been there. When the shakes start, when your hands start shaking, when the nerves start kicking in, it is difficult, but it wasn't difficult for the MVP, Hex Reaper X. They put up one heck of a show, going out with 10 kills, 5 of which came from Zern with 635 points of damage. But again, credit where credit is due. Optimum Esports, Thug, the way they control the last few circles, the way they send MCYS forward to, capitalize, make sure nobody comes in that zone. Because there was a little bit of a dip by the side of the road. Had Hex come in and taken that position, it would have been, if the game might have gone the other way.
Yeah, definitely. But then, looking at the way all these three teams so far, I'm super happy to see the way the outcome of this game. But definitely, I'm concerned about the way LS and Insane are playing. LS did have a chicken near last game, but they threw off the game in this one. If you saw that particular match, they had the Artemis, and I guess the second player it was pushing alongside was...
I know what you put. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
I mean,
yep,
both of them were
exactly
assaulters. They should have gotten that fight, but then eventually it was Insane who came out on top. So, when you have your front end assaulters trying to move in, Syringe and Artemis, and even then you're losing 3v2 situation, that's when it becomes a matter of concern.
Definitely, and well, right on top, Optimum Esports, 28 points, 8 kills, but what a performance by Hex, Reaper X, coming in second place with 10 kills to their names, and of course, Reckless Esports. These guys are just too consistent. LegStump are going to finish in 9th, Nalayak in 10th, and as we go down, let's have a look and see, there's a little bit of a surprise in the 15th position. VR1 Esports, the winners of Game 1, are out in 15th.
Yes, when I see such differing performance when you take a chicken in game 1 and then you move on to worst performance like a 15 and 16 in the next one, I generally doubt the credibility of the chicken, because we know flukes do happen, but then maintaining that consistency, that is what shows skill, that is what shows grit. If these teams are actually skillful and if they have that metal in them to make it to the top 5, because right now the fight is not for $600, neither for $1,100. What you're fighting for is the ultimate fight that's going to happen in PMPL. There are only 5 teams out of this 32 prestigious teams who have made it to Crew Challenge will get a chance to fight it out.
Absolutely, and just going back, that's what it's all about. It's all about that big stage. It's all about representing your team and country on the biggest stages of PUBG Mobile. But Team Insane, they finally showed up. I think they exited with 7 kills, and the overall leaderboard, Reckless moving in. They've got the 3rd position. Even though they haven't won a single chicken dinner yet, they are right behind FALLENangelz for a difference of 3 points, and right behind them, Team Mayhem, who again, they won that one chicken dinner in yesterday's last game. So maybe Thug, we might see Reckless Esports coming out with a win in Vikendi.
Yeah, definitely. If Reckless actually goes ahead and takes a win in Vikendi, they could prove to be a strong fight to all the teams playing out there. But looking at the second page, we do have some big names. AZTECS, we have Blitzkrieg, we have Optimum. Optimum for once again making it to the top 13. So they are playing decently well. They have an average of 10. But from my understanding, I don't think that's enough to make it to the top 5. Generally, when we talk about the top 5, we do expect to see an average of 12. So yes, it looks like 10 and 12 not a big difference, but right now we are talking about averages, and making up on averages is the really tough task. You need to come out with some back-to-back amazing performance if you want to make up your average. The teams need to focus on that XP.
Absolutely, and just before that on our screen we saw that Team Insane are climbing the leaderboard. They're still very far behind, but again, it's only 3 matches played for most of these teams, and well, Team ESN, now you might see something different. You're like, hey, why do they have 2 matches and why does everybody else have 3? The reason is they were late for one match, and if you are late, if you're not on time, well, you get the boot and the match, and as you know what they say, the show must go on, and that is exactly what happened. So as a result of that, they are sitting out at the last position. However, they did have some moments of brilliance in the game, especially when they got a couple of knocks from afar on their enemies. So we know that they have the capabilities, like a lot of these teams, they can aim, they can shoot, but I guess it's all about nerves and it's all about those rotations. And like you mentioned earlier, get up quick, get to the zone, and give priority to the zone.
Yeah, I mean, you also mentioned at that time that you had a point to make. So I wanted to discuss. So just to remind you, I just wanted to hear.
So I do believe we're talking about Stalwart Esports fight. Before that, the opposition team, they had come on that hill, knocks official, then they went back into that compound and they got sandwiched. They had an opportunity, they got a knock on top of that hill, they could have pushed forward and done that when the blue zone finally came and ended their misery. So I think that was a little bit of a mistake on their part. They thought they'll go back into cover from from all the opposition, but then another team, Optimum Esports, came in from behind, kind of got sandwiched. That is what kind of lost them the game over there. And of course, like you said, give the blue zone the priority, run away from it.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I believe that teams would have understood by now which teams they need to be wary of, which teams they can go after. And I think that we might get a chance to see all of this action happening in Vikendi, which is gonna be the last game for day, and which is gonna be the last game for the Group C and D for this first day they are playing into. But yes, let's hop into a quick break before we'll join you back for the last game.
Bye-bye. See there? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open India Fall Split 2020. I'm, of course, Angad Singh Chahal, the experiment, and with me is a man who needs no introduction, dressed in black. A man in black, in fact. I didn't think about that. Animesh, 8-bit Thug Agarwal. Now, Thug, we've had amazing matches all day, and Miramar was quite different. What are your thoughts on all the action that you've been seeing?
I think it's been a crazy day. I'm loving to see how Reckless is performing. They have been doing great job with the consistency that they are maintaining, and that's the reason we are seeing them come out on the top three. We already have 3 games, and we are moving on towards the 4th game that's gonna come up very soon. I think the flight must have already taken off from the runway.
I think let's go. I think let's just jump on board and get in the game.
Yeah, but I would want to take a quick prediction, XP, since you have been into many games. Which team do you think got this one?
Ooh, you know what? I think it's Reckless have been playing very dominant, right? They've been playing very consistent. I think they need to just push a little extra. 2 things will happen. Either this game, they're going to get eliminated before, probably in the 10th to 16th position, or they're going to go all the way and win the game. And, well, the game is afoot, and the playing path is going from the northwest to the southeast, cutting the map perfectly in half. So, I like that. I like it when things, they look very pleasing to the eyes. It looks good. I like it.
Yes, and talking about the way teams have split, I see majority of the teams trying to move to the northern part of the fight. But then here we have a hot drop fight. It's against ES and Pirate, who seems to be lagging. And no, it's not. It's our screen that was stuttering a bit then. But eventually, Pirate takes off one. He takes off two. DTH is in a lot of trouble, and ESN might as well have a good start to this game. Picking one off, might want to go for the second one. But look at Pirate's movements. Like, his movements are a little bit shaky if you see.
Ahoy there, matey, says the pirate over here as he gets 2 kills in quick succession. He's lucky. He's got dual Uzis on his back, mate. That is definitely going to help. I mean, forget reloading. All he's got to do is switch his weapon and get that rapid fire off on the enemy. But yes, that is going to be a major blow to DTH Esports. And we saw action early on. Wait, we've got Insane now going up against Optimum Esports. I think we should have had all 4 maps on Vikendi because there are so many conflicts as far as the drop points are going. Oh, that was brilliant. That was brilliant by Pawali. The way he heard the enemy, the way he went back, reacted, and got the kill. Wait a second, it's still not done. He jumps, and is he going to get the second knock? The enemy jumps as well, but he gets hit. But Insane Shockwave comes in from the side and guns the opponent down. Thug, this is amazing. I thought this is Sanhok bootcamp right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, first, forget Sanhok bootcamp. I think this looks like a different kind of Vikendi. I've never seen Vikendi.
It's a team deathmatch.
Yeah, it's a team deathmatch because I haven't seen Vikendi being so hot-headed for hot and intense game from the very beginning. Vikendi is known to be a slow map, wherein we have seen instances of the 4th circle holding 60 players. But right now, looking at the way the Cosmodrome and the northern part of the map is clogged, I also see Insane picking off a couple of other guys from Optimum. Optimum is in a lot of trouble right now. They just have Razor surviving. ESN and DTS, both of these guys need to be careful right now.
They definitely need to be careful, but it does kind of seem like VR1. Is it just me? Are they heading down? Or I think Deuce has actually realized that there were shots fired right near to him. He's going to be keeping an eye out for Team Insane. But have a look at the zone. We do have Dino Park in contention. Please let the zone end over there. I want to see some dinosaurs. I want to see some Tyrannosaurus Rexes walking around with the Triceratops as well. But again, we have a lot of water. I'd say about 25% of the circle must be in water, so at least the Vikendi circles are living up to the usual standards, isn't it?
Yes, and talking about the zone, there's not any team right now in the circle, and a lot of teams might just want to make early rotations. Let's see. Reckless, the team that is in the spotlight right now, is at Zabawa, and they might want to just move in inside the circle because they are like 1800 meters away.
Well, it is a long distance, but luckily the thing is, we're living in the 21st century, and these vehicles these days, they travel really fast. Although I don't like the fuel economy, Thug. I think we need to work on that because the fuel it runs out way too early, and if you don't have a fuel can, you are in trouble. But jokes aside, it is going to be a good, intense game, especially towards the last few circles when, all the teams are going to be pushed in closer to one another. But again, I'm still surprised at what happened at the beginning. I mean, basically, as soon as teams landed, we've already had 5 people leave this game. 3 from one team and 2 from another. So very uncharacteristic action right off the bat. And looks like Prince and his teammate are exchanging a few items over here, as another one is off for a nice long drive amongst the snow-capped mountains.
Right, and trying to see the 16 teams, 59 players that are still alive. ESN must be pretty happy right now because they got those 2 early kills. Hex talking about the team that missed the chicken dinner last game by an inch must be, pretty upset about it because they were so close to getting their chicken dinner. They missed it, and right now they might want to just redeem themselves in this game.
They did have a good game last time around, and again, I'm seeing that the teams they're getting better. They're getting the momentum rolling from them, and I think Thug, it could be a matter of nerves, right? Because for a lot of these teams, this is the first big tournament, and you've got to make the best of the situation. So the fact that they getting comfortable in their skin is going to be very, very helpful in later stages. But for the big teams, as we saw earlier on our screens right now, LegStump. Now, these guys are veterans. So I think they need to probably buck up a bit and get the job done because, again, I do believe that they have an extra target painter on the back, but we can't keep using that same excuse every single time.
Right, and talking about LS, Bhishma, Syringe, Joke, and Artemis, yeah, I think it's a 5-man roster, but they aren't really resorting to the 5th player as of now. I think they might want to do that, and they need to be careful because we've seen a lot of times
And it's
that when
flipped.
vehicles turn, your fates turn as your fate turns alongside. But right now, Somraj had a great opportunity to pick off a couple of guys, but he did not take a single shot. Why would he do that? He had an M16. Tap shots would have gotten him a couple of, knocks because the players were backing off vertically.
I think he's going to wait for them to get in the car and then rattle some shots in their direction. He might have probably left it a little bit too late. The thing is, he is currently alone right now, but he takes a few shots at Shade. However, he misses most of them, only a couple of them connecting. His teammates are kind of spread out, not really spread out, they're split in twos rather, but they've got to be careful because they are in the open, and by the looks of things, they don't have vehicles, so they're going to be on foot. And now Team RC, Revenge Corvus, they have been, they finally know that the enemy is nearby. They've been alert to the situation. So, you know, it's a gamble you have to take. It's like a risk. Now, if you shoot, unless or until you don't get a couple of knocks, you don't get a couple of kills, you risk giving your position away. And by the look of things, RC, they're heading out of the zone. They're going to come back in the zone and fight, or are they just going to go to the new circle? Oh, this is exciting.
Right, and talking about the way these teams have been playing, all the teams are chasing the circle as of now, but 7 minutes into the game, and I don't think there's a slow-paced game at all. We have BXP and FS, both the teams trying to fight it out. Let's see how this entire game goes.
Now, I like what FS is doing right now. All right, they are rotating. They want to be careful, and they might go into the zone and get the job done. But I think what they are trying to do is get a better position in the zone right now, which makes sense. I thought maybe they're going to circle around the enemy and just block them off and be like, hey, you thought we were there? Nuh-uh. We are over here now, but that's not going to happen. But yeah, the zone is going to keep shrinking on itself. I want to see something exciting. Please give us a water zone. I want to see a water zone in the PMCO, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. And have a look at what I see to the northeast. In Drevno, we have 2 teams outside the zone who might be fighting it out. It is, of course, Reckoning, and they are going to be going up against Nalayak. I think a fight has broken out. We are still on the map feed, but well, let's just have a look and see how everyone is positioning themselves at that time.
Right, and talking about the way these teams are playing, I think AZTECS might have a chance here, but I think it's RG Clowny going down. It's again down to Exotic and Noob White YouTube who are trying to fight it out. We have NY Ninja, Dark Lord, Dominator, 3 players trying to fight it out, and let's see who comes out to be the better one, because right now Nalayak seems to be at a very better spot. Exotic and Noob White B they are fighting it out. They are just 2 men and one of them needs to revive. I think Clowny got revived, and Nalayak actually did a slow push. They should have rushed a little bit earlier, not given RG the chance to bring their players back on foot. Right now Clowny might want to just heal himself up. It's a 3v3 situation. Looking at how the survival status looks right now, is that Team Insane 3 points, they are looking good to go.
They are absolutely looking good to go, right on top with those 3 points and a 4-man squad. Now Taz over here, he should be revived any moment. I think now, is it Noob YTB or is it Noobie TB? Because I'm just going to call, I mean, if he does something silly, it'll be Noobie. If he does something amazing, it's going to be Noob YT. I'm just kidding, of course. But now Nalayak, they're in a good spot. They lost Mafia just seconds ago. That was a bit of a mess up because he was trying to chase the opposition in their footsteps, and he paid a heavy price. But now Dominator, he can actually get a few shots on Noob YT, but I think that is going to be a little too late. And Exotic over here trying to pick a fight. Wait a second, they split up. They split up. I was wondering, why do I see Nalayak all the way over there? They've split up. Dominator has been left behind.
And why would they do that? They had a chance to take...
Goodness.
Yeah, it was a 3v4 situation. Why would you leave behind your teammate? And you would... Like, why was Dominator even left behind? Like, if you had a chance to back off, if you had a chance to move away, you could have just done the entire team together. There was no reason why would you leave one solo guy against 4 players of a well-stacked side. Right now, yes, but talking about the other teams, there are 3 teams, 4 teams, I think, right now, who are outside the zone. But I see a lot of teams trying to clog the winery area. What if the zone shifts towards over? What if it goes towards Volnova? That's when the action would begin, because a lot of teams might want to change the way they rotate and might want to go on move, might have to move.
You know, if you want to have a gathering in Vikendi, if you want to have, like you said, you know, the place is clogged. I think if you want to have a party, the winery is the best spot to do so, because you have a lot of wine over there, as the name suggests. But that is, of course, not the reason why they are getting in that position. They're getting there from cover because they want to be safe. They are fighting for survival, and one man who's fighting for survival right now is Joker, who is going to be picked up by his teammate Syringe, while Bhishma and Artemis are going to be making sure they keep the... Whoa, that was good. That was a good little zoom in. You know, I mean, the 6x, you barely see the 6x being used as a 6x, especially on an assault rifle. It's always pulled back to a 3x scope. However, I like that. I just like that little zoom in that we had right now. It kind of made me giggle.
Right, and talking about LS, they are going for the rotation. Let's see what the Stalwart. And talk about Stalwart as well. Stalwart Sarang is down, one of their best assaulters in the game, but right now it's down to, I think they made a switch if they're playing 4, because if I'm not wrong, right now who's playing Stalwart? It's Robin, Blaze, and Demon. Okay, still the same. They still have time before they make a switch. Right now, insane VR1, the team who went for the 15 kill chicken in a game 1. We haven't seen much from them until now. We have Nox, RC, BXP. This team's trying to, I think we should go for the center, because the circle looks like it's gonna end up towards Abbey. And yahan pe, if we see, Reckless and FS pretty close to each other.
They are pretty close to each other, and of course we want to see a little bit of a fight break out, but it looks like Website are all by themselves east of Torward. That is quite interesting. Along a lot of map views this game around. I mean, you know, you got to show something when there is no action taking place, but wait a second, what do I see? We still have a few teams out in the open. Now, that can be a bit of a problem, because Stalwart Esports can be in a good position to block them out, to gatekeep them, so to speak. But we'll probably come back to that fight in a second. Right now, I think I'm sure you all want to know where your teams are positioned as well. So there you have it. Have a look at where everyone is, and the party unfortunately has moved away from the winery. Only 2 teams have been left behind: Revenge, CORVUS, and BlitzkriegXP. Well, at least I like the fact that they have XP in the name. For those of you who don't know, I am the experiment, but I do go by XP. So, you know, that's a sad joke. I get it. It's a sad joke, but whatever. I like it. Animesh has Thug has RC Animesh. I have BlitzkriegXP. But anyway, coming back to the action, we are now going to witness Revenge Corvus. I think they might finally pick a fight with Blitzkrieg. I want to see some Blitzkrieg action from the team. For those of you who don't know, let me ask you guys a question, for all the guys watching at home and the girls as well. Are you guys fans of history? Are you big history buffs? And of course, Animesh, I do believe I hear you right now. Are you a fan of history?
Yes, depends whose history I'm talking about. Like, you know, all kinds of history does not really get my interest, but there are particular segments, particular parts of history that I love to explore.
All right, so Blitzkrieg is a name that came up a lot during World War II. That was Germany's, style of war in the earlier years when they were very successful. So Blitzkrieg literally translates into lightning war. So, rapid, quick war. That's what I want to see from these boys. I want to see them hit the enemy hard and not stop. They haven't been living up to their name because they've been kind of hesitant. But we know the kind of caliber these players bring. And wait a second, Ninja over here rattling off some bullets and almost getting a knock on a member from Reckoning.
Right, and what I see here right now is that Nalak, another team that's stuck in the web of zone, needs to move in. RG Clowny goes down. Reckoning definitely needs to go back today, rework on this trust, because that's now how you reckon your, you assert your dominance. Right now, I see FS, a lot of teams with 4 men alive, but the teams towards the bottom half of the table, the bottom 5, these have been like pretty common names. We have seen Stalwart, DTH, Reckoning, Optimum struggle since the very beginning of this game overall.
They did, but of course, the fact that they won the chicken dinner in the last game, that is going to be a major point. And we did see them what happened in this game. I mean, they got obliterated right at the beginning, just survived by one member. Razor was the last guy who ran away from Team Insane. And these circles are just, I guess it's a new meta. I guess they want it to be fair. You know, maybe it's like till the third or the fourth zone, you just want everyone to just, shrink in on themselves, because that is what the zones have been doing pretty much even, and unfortunately not enough water. I wanted to see a water circle, and now I am disappointed, Thug. Not
Yeah,
really.
definitely. We both wanted to see a water circle, but that's not what
I
we
love drama.
Yeah,
I'm an Indian.
obviously,
I
I think
love
that game
drama.
needs to be spiced up as much as possible. See, me and you, we don't need to play. We don't need to cross those water zones. We don't need to worry about which team could be rotating, which we don't have a good zone. We just need to add the spice. We just need to commentate on the drama. I think that's what we are here for. We're doing our job. That now game needs to do its job. They need to settle the algorithms and give more of water zones.
Well, looks like Animesh goes straight for the loot, and they are going to get that M249, and that is a beautiful snowmobile right now. I love that skin that Reckless Sniper has, and I think Reckless might be going up against opposition as well in the form of Team ESN. Now, Team ESN, they've been bottom of the table. Well, they are at the bottom of the table in the overall standings. However, like I said earlier, I saw glimpses of brilliance from them. But again, it's just the nerves. It's just the nerves. It's the confidence. And once they get that in check, I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But a force to be reckoned with right now are Reckless Esports. Now, Thug, do you want them to be reckless this game, or do you want them to play it safe?
I think I would want them to be as reckless as possible, because they have done their
Oh,
part. They
yeah.
are pretty safe right now. They need to take those risks. They need to take those chances. They need to convert those 18 kills into a 16 kill chicken dinner. For that, you need to go full on. You need to go ham on the opponents. You need to give them that fear. But right now, we are 17 minutes and a half into the game, but we still have a long way to go into Vikendi. I think yesterday we saw 31 Vikendi clock 31 minutes, and I believe that we might head towards a similar kind of a game in this one.
I mean, we still have all 16 teams alive. I think that is not too far off. We're only 17 minutes, 43 seconds into the game right now, but I think we might see that 30-minute mark without any doubt. Now, a lot of teams congregating towards the center of the map, west of Volnova at the Abbey. Now, I get it that, you go to the Abbey to pray. All these teams are going to be praying that they get a high position, but you got to let some bullets fly as well. And talking about gatekeeping earlier, if you remember, Stalwart Esports were kind of in a position to make sure DTH Esports remain outside, but they kind of gave up on their position. And I thought they'd hold on and hold on to that compound in Dino Park, but they decided to move further into the zone, which is actually not a bad idea, especially since the zone is going to move any minute now. But pretty much everyone in the zone now making their way to the winery. A lot of action is going to be erupting in just a few moments.
Right, and I think this could be the last silent circle we have before the doom comes in, before the doom hits, before the comet and the meteor strikes the map, and before we see all the action happening. Right now, a lot of teams favoring, being biased toward the southeastern part of the map. What if the zone shift towards Stover, or maybe towards the end of Dino Park? It doesn't. I mean, like the zones, I haven't seen such beautiful zones. These are like, it's like an artist sitting at the desk behind and just making the zones shrink beautifully, because none of the teams would struggle. They don't even have to move. Like, these are basic movements that they might have to do to get inside the zone.
And they're actually lucky that the zone is on this side, because you do have a couple of major towns, you have a couple of major, places, but you have a lot of scattered compounds as well. So cover is going to be a plenty in this game, and not a lot of hilly terrain, not a lot of fights in the open. But let's see where the next couple of cycles take us. Meanwhile, website, they have a good command on their compound as an AUG drops in an airdrop right next to Team Insane, who again, they have full control over the Abbey. And if you have a look in the distance, you can spot players from VR1. Now, VR1 started off in a brilliant fashion. However, they just fell off a little bit towards the end, especially in Miramar, as they ended up, I do believe, in the 15th position.
Right, and talking about WWW, VGOP, Shala, Prince, and Ninja, all the three players, they might want to go on and get some kills, because a website has been struggling. We have seen that they haven't been able to performed too well as of now. But talk about the top 5 damage dealers this game. Clowny, the lone survivor, the lone soldier for his team trying to fight it out. And then talking about Insane, I see 2 players from Insane making it into a top 5. This could be the game where Insane turns their table, turns the fortune, turns the points table, make it to the top 5. But let's see, we still have a long way to go. 55 players, 16 teams still into the game. 21 minutes by my clock, and Nox trying to move in to RC.
I want them to move in right now. I want to see some action. I'm pretty sure all of you watching at home or wherever you are want to see some action as well. But I do believe Revenge Call versus Sahil, he definitely has an idea that the enemy is nearby. He might have heard something earlier on, or he's just being really careful, because I do believe all the players, if you have a look at the minimap, the way they are spread out. Wait a second, I just said that, and I saw something interesting on the minimap right now. So we have 2 teams, of course, in close proximity to each other, but Team ESN is closing in as well, and that can be quite entertaining for all of us. For some reason, DTH are still out in the blue zone. They should be making their way without much of a problem, and well, where do you think action's going to erupt first? And wait a second, Abby is going to be the next zone. Team Insane firmly in the center.
Right, and talking about the way these players want made move, Insane would be very much happy about it. I think they dropped at Abbey, and they continue to hold it. And I think it's been a very lucky map for them overall. But right now, I see a lot of teams surviving. We have 5th circle, and all 16 teams alive. This is where the action begins. We see Animesh going down, unfortunately. We have Sahil and Crusher still sitting there with trying to take a pick, but then it's Nox Slaygod who picks another guy from RC, and I think Nox would just want to push in right now.
I was just going to say that they were pushing in. Mayank was in a beautiful flank position. However, he got knocked by Team ESN. Octopus is going to go in for the revive. Is he going to make it? No, he doesn't. Mayank has come to his injuries, and Team ESN are going to walk off with 1 kill. Meanwhile, elsewhere, we have a fight breaking out between DTHesports and I do believe LegStump. We're going to come to that in a second, as we have a little bit of a stalemate developing over here. We're going to come to that fight right now. Syringe goes out. They need to move quick. The blue zone is coming. They're like, you know what? We're going to see you boys later. And Syringe has to lob a few rounds in his direction, but can't be able to damage him enough. He does! One of his teammates goes down. Artemis gets knocked down. Joker is going to bleed out. Bhishma and Syringe are the only members who are going to be alive from LegStump.
Right, and talking about the way STALWART has been forming, they are the survivors. I've seen STALWART making it to the top 5, 6. But that's not enough. That won't get you to the top 5. If you want to make it to the top 5, you need to have those 10 kills and a 6 finish. That's where you get those 15, 16 points that helps you improve your average. Right now, I see RC fighting it back, taking down Nox, and Team Nox officials get eliminated at the 15th spot. Down to 14 teams, 48 players. The zone is shrinking. It's the 5th circle, 24 minutes into the game. I see LS players getting out of the zone. LegStump definitely struggling right now, and same for Bhishma and Syringe. I think Bhishma and Syringe, these are the only 2 members that somehow make it until the very end for Ellis.
Yes, sir. The last 2 surviving members from LegStump, as they were obliterated just moments ago. I definitely thought that they had the upper hand, but looks like I was wrong. Prince, meanwhile, gets a knock on Reckless's mat and on Snipu, making sure he finishes Matt off. So now Reckless is going to be a 2-man squad. That fight is going on elsewhere. Meanwhile, we are focusing on Team ESN. Pirate JX, he gets 1 with that AK. Is he going to get the second? Ninja is probably the last man alive for Non-Layak. He is healing himself up. That first aid is being applied. However, Team ESN are going to have the crosses on that shack door, because as you know, that shack just has 1 entrance and 1 exit point. Meanwhile, the fight for Reckless is still not over. They have Insane at one end, Thug, and BlitzkriegXP are joining in from the other.
Right, and talking about Insane, pretty strong right now, but Reckless goes down, and I think that was the last surviving guy. Okay, it was the last surviving guy. Why did Reckless not get eliminated? I think I might have been wrong there. I see Aditya surviving as well. There's a lot of smoke that came out, but Aitha needs to smoke the area for himself as well if he wants to go on and heal them. But right now, I think Insane is getting third party, and that's what they are very off. They have taken their focus off Reckless. It's Hex who eventually goes there and confirms Bad Boy Insane missing out on 1 kill. But they have the circle, they have the zone, and they would just want to make sure they capitalize this game to the best possible extent.
And in 13th position, finally, Thug, Optimum Esports is going to be buying out. If you remember, Razor was the only survivor from that skirmish right as we landed. So not too bad, but of course, they would have wanted a better position, especially since they got the chicken dinner in the last game. But Team Insane, they are kind of surprising me right now. The way they're controlling the whole situation, have the look at Prince's position. He has the lay of the land, although he is outside the zone and his teammates are in. He can actually do a lot of damage, which he does. Ooh, that would have been amazing. Robin almost getting knocked out. Wait a second. The way he is firing in all directions, he just gets two from Hex, Reaper X. Insane. IT Prince is on fire. And will this grenade confirm his skills? If it does, I'm just going to be super surprised. That grenade does go off. He does get another knock. Pirate is the last man standing. Insane going, and that's a squad wipe for Team Insane with Prince doing most of the work.
Right, and we see Insane going in ham with those 9 kills, and we have Shockwave, we have Prince, we have Puali, we have Rana Deep, all the 4 players trying to ensure that they make the best out of this game. We have Futurestation coming in with those 4 players, Winter Storm, Pukar, Dope, and we have Blaze OP trying to take down Reckoning Taz, and then we have Winter Storm who picked off Hex. I think Futurestation might be able to make it inside the zone, but we have the zone shrinking. It's just 40 meters away before the next zone kicks in, and we still have 10 teams. XP, this is 6 circle, 10 teams, and what a cracker of a PMCO we are having.
Absolutely, and have a look at how the opposition is making sure that they basically gatekeep Prince right now, but he is still not done. He is still up top. He still wants to pick a fight, although his teammates are out. I think he knows that, he might not make it to the zone, but he's going to try and make sure he gets as much damage done as he can. Meanwhile, Futurestation get an elimination on Hex, Reaper X. They bow out in the 9th position. Right after them, Reckless Esports. Ooh, they went out early this time around. No kills to their names. Insane's IT Prince is still alive and kicking. Pukar is going to be patching up Winter Storm right now. He comes down. Pukar is going to go up against Prince. Who is going to come out on top? It is Prince, who finally gets knocked down after that wonderful, wonderful showcase that he just put up for us.
Right, and talking about the last 7 teams, the zone goes entirely in favor of VR1. They were playing, it was a gamble that they did, holding the edge of the circle, and it paid off entirely for them. VR1 has the opportunity to go for the second chicken in the day, which could be a game changer, because right now we did not see VR1 perform in the last 2 games, but they had a 35 points chicken in game 1. If this game they're able to convert 8 to 9 kills and they end up getting 25, picking up 25 plus points in this game, they would directly shoot up to their second spot of the points table.
Yes, sir. And if you had a look at Insane's damage, we'll come back to that in a second, because Punk is going to be trying to knock out the opposition, but he gets knocked out instead. And we are one. We just said they have the best position, but they are in trouble. They are 1 man down. Can they pull off a miracle? He does get 1 knock. He goes up against the other. Shyla and Prince are going to try and move in. Website on the hunt. Oh my goodness. This man is a cat, because he has 9 lives. He is still surviving. He's patching himself up. He's going to be able to patch himself up. Ooh. He finally goes down to Website's Prince. They did lose 2 members. He almost clutched it, but the caster's curse is still at hand. Thug, you just said they're in the best position, and they just got knocked out.
Right, and talking about the way FS has been playing, Winter Storm is the last standing guy. I'm pretty sure Insane is going insane right now with their game style, but then they are stuck. They are 80 meters away from getting inside the zone. They need to take off SP. They need to take off the vehicle, but Puali spotted Tez, and Tez gets confirmed by the XP Volt. BlitzkriegXP somehow stepping into the game. I did not even notice them XP, but right now if you see, they are the only team inside the circle at a very good spot.
Absolutely, that spot is good, and they are making full use of that, as Sakria is now trying to rattle some bullets on Insane. And mind you, a pointer for you guys, Blitzkrieg and Team Insane both have 10 kills to their names, and they have 4 men alive. So it might boil down to a 4v4 situation towards the end. Meanwhile, STALWART Esports Blaze gets a knock off his own while his teammate Damon goes down, but Sakria is not done. He gets a couple of knocks, one of which is going to be on Team Insane. Now, Team Insane are in trouble. Puali has been knocked out, and one of them is kind of, knocked out of the game completely. See, the thing is, both the teams right now are focusing on Team Insane because they're the easiest target, but I think the scar cover and that smoke screen might be able to help them out, but things look a little bit shady. Blitzkrieg are the only ones with the compound, and wait a second, did you see what I saw? Can you see Exotic all by his lonesome?
Yeah, and I think he might as well want to go for that heal battle, but no, that's Mad Dog coming up with a Molotov and knocking them off. Right now, Blitzkrieg has a great opportunity to get the chicken dinner. Insane also looks at a good spot. They have 3 men alive, but yes, BXP has the cover. They have the wall. I think it's gonna be a very difficult task for any team to go on and pick off BXP, because BXP is at a super sorted position right now. They have the wall, they have the cover, they have the zone, they have the circle, they have everything. I think this chicken dinner, without any fail, is going in the hands of BXP right now.
Well, that is exactly what it looks like. We are finally down to the last two teams, ladies and gentlemen. It is a 4v3 situation. BlitzkriegXP versus Team Insane. Now, Blitzkrieg, they do have the advantage. They have some cover. And have a look at what Wolf's doing. They have made that smoke screen. He is going to try and get a different angle on the boys from Team Insane. Also, he's going to get all that loot. So, Blitzkrieg definitely looking in a good position. Insane need a miracle right now if they are to come out on top, and I think that miracle might come in the form of IT Prince. Look at the way he's sliding to his left, trying to get a little bit of an angle on what's happening. I think if he gets that knock on Volt, he is going to go down, but Volt gets a knock on Shockwave. He does get spotted, takes a few shots from Ranadeep, but Ranadeep has gone down as well. I think it's all over.
Yeah, I think that GG for BXP, and a good game from Insane as well. I think this is the last I think I'm pretty sure we won't be able to go for the 1v4, and that's it. What a game by Blitzkrieg coming up with the chicken dinner. But yes, an interesting game by Insane as well, getting the 11 kills, chicken dinner, 25 points. Might put them at a comfortable position from what they were before this game. Nevertheless, a great day, a great day with stellar performances coming from all sides. Finally, we saw a big name step up to their name.
I think the last couple of games, Team Insane have been playing phenomenally. They got 7 kills in the previous match and 11 in this one. But Blitzkrieg, we were just joking about, I was asking about history, and I think they played that German style of warfare, that lightning quick action, and the moment they got a knock, they just capitalized on it. And with that, the MVP, of course, is going to be Volt, the man himself. 8 kills to his name, 860 points of damage. Brilliant display here in Vikendi.
Right, and if we talk about the way he has the distance covered, the damage, I think he did a complete gameplay. The show that he put up was complete. There was no misses. I think they couldn't have done better. No one could have done better. 8 kills out of I guess their team ended up with some 14 kills. So 8 out of those 14, not bad. I think great stuff coming out from Volt. But yes, I think good game for both BXP and Insane, given the fact that both of these teams were struggling, and finally they got a chance to come out on top and prove their mettle.
Absolutely, and well, that is what we expect from the big names, isn't it? And but then again, okay, you have well-established teams, and then you have these underdogs, as we like calling them. I'm going to come back to my point in a second as we look at the top 5 players. Of course, BXP's Volt right up there. I think it should be a mix of BXP and Insane. Looks like it is pretty much that, but have a look at number 3. Team ESN. Finally, these boys are making a little bit of a name for themselves. Pirate did a wonderful job. 4 kills, 571 points of damage, but the maximum damage is going to be in Puvali's hands, 936. What a game both these teams have had, Team Insane and Blitzkrieg.
Right, absolutely right. I think both these teams have had a great show put up, and I think that was because of individual performances coming out from each of the players. Each of the 4 players from each of these teams did put up a great show. Everyone performed their job, did a great job, and I think that is where these teams had a good performance until the end. If you see, Blitzkrieg did have a zone advantage, a very important one. If you talk about it, they had the wall, they had the compound, they had the circle. Let's talk about the points table.
Blitzkrieg right on top with 34 points, 14 kills. Amazing performance. Team Insane finally stepping up to the plate with 25 points to their names, 11 kills in hand. In third, Reckoning. Now, they did wonderful in game 1 where they came in second, and this time around they've come in third. They'll get back there. Number 4 goes to STALWART Esports, but let's have a look at the bottom half. VR1 Esports, kind of free-falling from what we saw at the beginning. We'll see them come back, and like I said, Reckless, either they're going to win the game or they're going to get eliminated on the bottom half, and that is exactly what happened, but they've had a good, consistent run. Now, the only names that I think are going to stick out for you over here, Thug, is going to be Team LegStump. Now, Insane, they've kind of done well. Blitzkrieg, they've come and won the game. LegStump, it's their turn now, isn't it?
Yeah, LegStump did perform well in Sanhok, but then that was a pure, that the zone was entirely on them. It was zone favoring them entirely. They won the game from the first rotation that they made. The first compound that they hit in the entire map, they won the game exactly from that. They did not even have to step out of their houses. They did not even have to do anything. It was the game moving the way they wanted it to move. So, I would some doubt the credibility of the chicken dinner because we haven't been able to see them perform in the remaining games. If you see right now the points table, the overall ones, we have XSpark still maintaining their lead with 85 points. Blitzkrieg do come out on the second spot with 68, and we have Reckless with 57 out there. FALLENangelz, the heroes of day one, with 56 points.
And something that stands out for me is Team Insane have finally made their way to this first quarter of the leaderboard, sitting in 8th position with 45 points. Big game for them. Of course, BlitzkriegXP had a massive Vikendi game and one chicken dinner to their name. Now, Reckless Esports are the only team in the top 3 who haven't won a chicken dinner yet, closely followed by FALLENangelz, who are 1 point behind, but I'm sure that is going to change on day 3 and 4. And if we have a look at the second quarter of the leaderboard, a lot of names that you would see now. Futurestation, 14th position, Thug. You think they're going to be rising up high in the next couple of days?
I think yes, we could see FS moving on to the top. They have a good side. They have decently experienced players in the form of Bob Dope, Winterstorm, and this place we have seen being too active in the competitive scene in the past couple of months. But yes, there are a lot of teams that we should be concerned about. MCOPS, then we have the website. These are new names, of course, but then these teams actually need to step up their game and need to put up a fight, because the fight, like I said, is not for the top 16, not for the top 10, but the top 5. If you make it to the top 5, you break it, or else you go home.
Or else you go home, or you go to the biggest stages of PUBG Mobile, as I've been saying time and time again, and you get a chance to represent your team and your country. Make everyone proud. But anyway, let's have a look at the bottom of the table now. Team ESN right at the bottom over there with 3 games. They need to buck up, and of course, guys, we've said this before. This goes out to FINTOX, Indian Official, and Team ESN, I beg your pardon. Please, please, please be on time. We do not follow the Indian Standard Time. Of course, I'm joking about that. I know what you all mean. Thug, you know what I mean by when I say Indian Standard Time, right?
Right. I mean, like, you don't need to be, you need to be there on time. You need to be the time that you say. It could not be you say 4 p.m. and you end up at 6 p.m. That's what XP means. That's what the normal standard is for us. But then, nevertheless, great day, great day 2. And I think we got to see some new talent coming in from Group C and D, especially Reckless, Insane, a couple of teams that teams need to be wary of.
Absolutely. And, even though a couple of teams didn't really get a lot of kills, they had moments of, sunshine literally in this darkness. It is dark outside. That's why that came to my mind. But Team ESN, they're at the bottom. They kind of impressed me in a couple of fights. Then Hex Reaper X kind of put up a good show, and they almost won the last game. And again, I think I love the fact that the caster's curse is a real thing, because I liked how in Vikendi you said that VR1, the only team on the eastern edge in the last zone, and suddenly Blitzkrieg, like a lightning fast reaction, they came in, took their position, eventually won the game. But we are at the end of day 2, Thug. What are we taking away from this day? What have we learned today?
I think we have learned that it's not only about the big names, it's about the underdogs have it in them. Some new names are going to surprise us as we proceed along this journey. A lot of big names are on the verge of elimination, because we know the journey is long, but then every team has to cross through different stages. So I hope that teams are able to stand by their names and put up a better show in days to come.
Yes, sir, that's what it's all about. Remember, these are stepping stones for greatness. And if you want to make a name for yourselves, all you got to do is make a team. And hopefully the next time you'll be on our screens and we'll be talking about you, as we are with a lot of new names. And that is the beauty of the Indian gaming community. There is so much untapped potential. And I like the fact that a lot of these teams are very imaginative with their names as well. A couple of names really stand out. Website, I love www. And my new favorite, Nalayak.
Yes, but yes, we'll see how the games go. But that's it for today from our side, guys. This is 8BitTux signing off alongside XP. We're gonna meet you the next day. Take care, stay safe, stay home, and maintain that distance. See ya, guys.